Good evening, Tucker sports fans. It's the Swanton Welding pregame show with your host, Scott Barrett.
Welcome, Liberty Center Tiger fans, to week 2 of the high school football season. With me tonight, Brian Babcock will be our lead legendary play-by-play. But first, each week, Casey Moeller and I sit down to preview the next opponent and look back. Good morning, Casey Moeller. Another season together, another weekly show, and Mark's got this called On the 50 with Coach Casey Moeller. I think I kind of like that segment. So
looks good.
You're the anti-flash guy, so I don't know if we need a lot of commercialism for this show, but I had a good time with this last year. I know our fans enjoyed it. You gave us lots of in-depth information, and as we talked about, you're a little bit like Jim Tressel. You're very pleasant, articulate, and you say very little. So that's what this show's about.
Good.
So welcome back in, Coach, and obviously we were rushed in our pregame for the Tenora game because I was dropping Beatrice off in Arizona, and you were trying to get to an opener. But I did want to open up this interview with talking about your staff. We had a good conversation about your preseason, about your scrimmages, the things you get from that, how you manage your calendar, which I think is fantastic, how you organize that and execute that. But you got a great staff. I mean, you're a very good football coach. You've been in this program for a long time, following the legend Rex Lindgren. But I think we've really grown as an organization. We talk about what we do on the field. We talk about youth football. We talk about the enthusiasm. But I think the nuts and bolts of this program are your great coaches. So I'd like for you to take a minute and talk about each of those coaches, their responsibilities, and then we can kind of move into a Tenora review and then talk about Napoleon. So let's talk about your coaches, their responsibilities, and a little bit about them.
Well, as you know, these coaches have been around a long time, and it wasn't a staff that you just who's available. It was very deliberate. When I first took over, there were certain guys I wanted. Matt Bryan was one of them who I had coached with at the freshman level for a number of years, and then we kind of moved up into the high school level together. And, he was the linebackers coach and I was the defensive coordinator, and I kind of thought of him as a co-coordinator. And so he was the one I thought, okay, he's the one I want running the defense. I knew what kind of coach he was. He's not a in-your-face, scream and yell type of guy. He's very laid back and is going to be all about fundamentals. And it was kind of the demeanor I thought we needed in that position. And then I knew he had done a great job with the linebackers and developed a lot of really good all-Ohio caliber guys and wanted him in that position. Ryan Miller was another one that I knew I wanted on staff because of his experience. He's been coaching football for 20-plus years, plus a variety of other sports. And again, is a guy who I think thinks outside the box a little bit and gives different perspective than maybe what I typically see. And I think as a coach, sometimes there are coaches that want yes men and, tell me what I want to hear. And I knew that wasn't a good dynamic. You need different perspectives, and I think Ryan always gave a different perspective. Plus, he's very sound with his position group and has great rapport with the kids and develops great relationships with them. So he coaches our wide receivers, helps out with our defensive backs, and has really taken on the role of what I would call our leadership czar. He's in charge of taking the seniors each year and developing kind of the leadership that we're looking for in our program. And he has just grown that into now it's a full-blown class at the school because he's done such a great job with it. And it started with, his senior football players. And, he asked if he could do that, and I said, sure, go ahead. I gave him a green light. I thought it was a great idea, and he's really developed it and done a great job with it. And then you go to Nick Miller, who is our defensive line coach. Again, is somebody I grew up with my entire life, played football with, and had a great relationship with, still do, and I knew he coaches those kids hard. He coaches them the right way, and again, develops great relationships with them and can be honest with them because they know he cares about them. But fundamentally, does a phenomenal job on both sides of the ball with those guys, and really has developed a ton of depth the last couple of years with us. And again, you look at the number of all Ohio offense and defensive linemen that we've had over the last 8 years. It's unbelievable. And that's a tribute to him and some of the other defensive line coaches that help him out. One would be Todd Spangler, who coaches our freshmen but helps Nick with the offense and defensive line. And those guys work really well together. And then you get into Chris Riggy, who's been around since the year 2000 when I got hired. We were kind of first-year coaches together, and he coaches our quarterbacks and our defensive backs. And again, is a guy that really takes ownership of his position, develops those guys, and gets them to fit into our offense. It's not just about, let's go out here and throw the ball 100 times and see how far and how fast we can throw. He's working on footwork, making sure we get the snap, and those type of things, and has really worked with our corners well, specifically on defense, and made sure that they're doing what they need to do on that side of the ball. But again, I don't want to use the word players coach, but it just has great relationships with his guys, and is laid back. And so we've got a couple of those coaches that are not going to be in your face and scream and yell. And then a couple years ago, I brought on Eric Weimer, and he's a coach that's going to get in your face and scream and be just intense. He's not yelling or being derogatory, but he's intense. And he's kind of slipped into the role of being a linebackers coach and helping Matt Bryan, and has really taken on ownership of that position group. And when I brought him on, I knew Matt needed to focus a little bit on what the whole defense is doing. And when he does that as a defensive coordinator, you can't just watch a specific position group. And so Eric was probably one of the best things I ever did as a coach was, asking him to come on staff, and thank God he said yes. Just because he stepped in, and as intense as he is, the first thing he did was kind of sit back and start developing relationships with his guys. And then he kind of amped up, the intensity a little bit. And now, he breathes fire on the sidelines and is intense. And I think you need that in a staff where you got to have some guys that are a little bit more reserved, and then you've got guys that are going to spit fire every now and then. And Eric's intense and just does a great job with the linebackers, helps out with the running backs, and has really become our strength and nutrition specialist. And, over the last couple of years, I think that's one of the things that's kind of taken us to another level is his nutrition plan that he has for kids. We've got kids that are adding really good weight in the off season and getting bigger and stronger. And that's something where in years past, we might have a 175-pound linebacker, and now we've got a 205-pound linebacker. We've had a 160-pound running back, now we have a 180-pound running back, and it's good, lean muscle that they're adding. And it's because of Eric's nutrition plan and the way he works with kids and tells them exactly this is what you need to eat, this is when you need to eat it, this is how you strength train and add muscle and bulk. And he's been a phenomenal addition. Brian Hefflinger is another one we brought on last year to work with linebackers and help out with our wing backs, and has now taken over our special teams. And he's a legendary player as well, and he's invested and very cerebral, very intelligent. And I knew, I asked him if he'd be willing to take the special teams on this year because I knew he'd be extremely detail oriented and get results that we wanted. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And again, it's just gaining confidence every day that he coaches. Great relationship builder with the kids, and has just done a great job. And then Brad Howe is another one that helps out with the freshmen and has kind of taken on a new role coaching the guards and centers with Coach Bryan this year, and has stepped in there and done a nice job of really developing some of these younger guys, identifying neat areas of need and what we can improve on. But has helped out on the defensive side as well with our snipers and safeties, and and he coaches the defense at the freshman level and helps out on the JV. But almost all these guys are Liberty guys, they're community guys, and they're not here because they get a paycheck, or they're not here because, they're trying to climb the ladder of coaching. They're here because they love Liberty Center football, they love the community, and those are the guys I want on my staff.
Liberty guys through and through, even Coach Riggy and Coach Bryant that didn't necessarily grow up here have just,
Right.
dyed in the wool orange and blackers for sure.
Yeah. And, we added Owen Box this year as a guy who, asked if he could help out. And, thinking back, he was in the program just 2 years ago. And even then, we'd watch film, and he was always coaching the younger defensive line.
Yeah.
Here's the technique you got to use. Here's why we do this drill. And I thought, he'd be a great fit if he can just continue to carry that over into coaching. And as a young guy, he's done a really good job of identifying, those fundamental things that those kids can work on, and just brings another energy to the group, and has done a really, really good job for us.
Now, this is as good of a staff, top to bottom, from experienced and veterans like you and Matt and Nick Miller, all the way down to some of these younger coaches. And it's just great to see a staff so balanced, so many good ex-players. You were a very good ex-player as well. So as we transition, this staff got this team ready for Tenora.
Sure.
Obviously,
I hope I didn't forget anybody.
you might have, because it's a very deep staff, and you got guys all over the place doing a variety of roles. You see them on Friday. So, again, I don't think you're trying to forget somebody, but you've got a great deep staff, and I think that's a huge strength that no one really talks about in Liberty Center football.
Well, one of the things that I realized early on is I can't do everything. And it can be overwhelming at times. And so I've tried to give coaches responsibility and
a lot of autonomy.
Yeah, and let them just take care of that business, and trust them. And I think when you do that, they're going to take ownership, and they're going to do the best job they can. Every week, certain big games and stuff like that, people are going to ask me, well, who's starting? And a lot of times, I don't know who's going to start.
And we've had that discussion. Well, that's a decision that
Yeah.
Nick's going to have to make. That's a decision Chris is going to make on the quarterback. So
Right.
I liked how you said that in the pregame. Chris Riggy's going to kind of determine some reps for those guys. That's a little bit different strategy than an old Rex Linger and some of the old-time coaches who had a guy that they were going to go to. They made that decision.
Yeah, and with the defensive line, I know we've got 7-8 guys rotating
Yes.
in there. Nick is going to start whoever he wants to start, and I'm going to trust him to do that, because I know from past experience he knows what he's doing. He's going to have the right guys in the right position at the right time, and I'll let him do that. I could be wrong, but I think very, very seldom, if ever, have I ever said this guy's got to play in this position. I let those coaches make that decision.
One of the observations I made from the booth on Friday, just to underscore what you're talking about, special teams, for example, those guys come off, Brian's given the coaching. A big mistake is made that costs you field position on the offensive end. That's when you step in.
Mm-hmm.
That can't happen. A block in the back, a mistake, and an offsides or whatever. So there is an order to your sideline and how kids are coached. And again, a huge part of the successful formula you've built here, Casey, credit to you, to the Tenora game. That staff, all those resources, all that IQ and brain power you put in, really prepared this team for what I think was I don't want to say a flawless performance, but very clean and efficient. First play of the game, touchdown, the first 4 possessions, very efficient. This Tenora team was 7-4 last year. They had won 5 of 6, lost a tight, I think, playoff game to Bucyrus Renford. You guys were really prepared for this. Talk about the offensive side of the ball and your preparation for Tenora.
Well, for us, we talked about we wanted to get off to a fast start. Last year was pretty tight first half.
It was.
And I felt like we just weren't moving very fast. And so we talked about we want to get off to a fast start and play, fast and efficient. And obviously, we did that on the first play offensively. But if you remember last year, we scored on the first play offensively, and then we kind of
Drifted.
hit a wall.
Yeah.
So we wanted to maintain that energy throughout the start of the game.
Well, you saw that against Defiance in your scrimmage, too, that you were
Sure.
disappointed in how you started, and Defiance got on top of you in the first 4 or 5 plays, 110 yards, and you could tell the pace had to pick up, the energy had to pick up.
Right, and so we talked about that, and the kids knew that was a priority, and I think that focused them a little bit more, and we came out and we just executed well. And with some of the guys we have returning, we expected that type of performance, but some of the younger guys who haven't been in those positions, it was a nice surprise it's kind of what you expect out of them, but you never know if you're going to get it. But we did a nice job of executing. We had some young guys make some big plays at critical times, and I thought we just played well together. So far this year, it appears this team's pretty unselfish. I think their goal is to win and not, I want to score touchdowns or get touches. They know the big picture, and that's kind of what we're playing for and practicing for. But it was good to get a fast start, I think. With a younger Tenora team, a fast start, wasn't going to allow them to build confidence and make it a close game.
Well, you saw the game. We were all there. It was just a very efficient game, second half, running clock, and you did what you needed to do to execute on a field goal. And there was a lot of efficiencies that I think doesn't always show up in week one that I think showed up here in week one. Big opportunity this week with Napoleon. And I know that we've had a lot of success in recent years against Napoleon teams. I've spent some time looking at Napoleon. You guys have spent a lot of time. This is a good football team. This is a bunch of big offensive linemen. They've got a very capable running back, a senior quarterback, and maybe the net best athlete in Northwest Ohio, and Trey Rubenstein. So talk a little bit about what you see in Napoleon. I see them as a big threat, always a threat. This is a generational game, but this Napoleon team looks a little different to me.
Yeah, they're definitely scary to see. They've got a lot of pieces that you're looking for in a team. You talked about the Rubenstein kid will be the best athlete on the field. Will probably be the best athlete we see in the regular season. Has great height, length, strong, and has fast, patient running style where he's not just going to get it and go 1,000 miles an hour. He sets blocks up. He knows where he wants to go and is going to get you to think he wants to go somewhere else and make you miss a little bit and just great ball skills. So he's going to be a tough matchup for us. The quarterback, if he just stands back there, will pick you apart. And their offensive line is not as big as what it has been in the past, but their coach kind of said they have a nastiness to them, and you can see that. They're going to get on blocks and stay on blocks, and they have good size, but not D1 recruits or anything like that. But they're going to get on you and they're going to block to the whistle. And then I think the Eggers kid at running back is probably their best player.
I agree with that statement.
He is a big, strong, fast kid, and he runs hard. He plays hard. Offensively and defensively, and he's just the kind of kid you want to have on your team because he's going to go as hard as he can, and we're going to have our work cut out for trying to stop them. They've got other weapons. The Woods kid didn't play against Defiance, but I would expect him to play. He's a very, very, very good athlete. Has jumping ability, running ability, and then they've got a bunch of other kids that are not real big, but they're quick, fast, and athletic that they can get the ball to in space. Spread you out a little bit, get the ball, and if they make you miss, they're probably going to be gone.
We spent a lot of time talking about the skill guys, and I would agree with you. I think they're running back, number 6, I think Rubenstein. I mean, they're big-time threats in the passing game. But as they get inside the 20, Casey, they will get power formation, and they will play power football. I think that we've always had an advantage over Napoleon, at least in recent history. This Napoleon team runs power a little bit more effectively. I think they're engaging more. I think Coach Schwery's program is finally coming around. He's a guy that's wanted to be more physical and run the ball. Hasn't been that way necessarily, but he's kind of grown into that style. I think inside that 20, they start to get pretty efficient in the run game.
Yeah, if they decide this is what we're going to do, they're going to come at you. And Defiance really couldn't stop them in the second half doing that. But and I think they've got the mentality that we're going to come at you and we're going to see if you can stop us. And sometimes in this day and age of football, that's a huge advantage because defenses aren't always geared to stop that. They don't want to. They want to play, flag football, 7-on-7 type stuff. And I think Napoleon's a little bit different where they're saying we're going to strap on the right L and come at you. So that can be tough. And if they're patient enough to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that can be demoralizing and wear out a defense. And then pretty soon you get tired of tackling, and then you miss a tackle and you bust off a big game.
It sounds a little bit like the wing tee and how we do things here at Liberty Center. Let's conclude by talking about the rivalry. I mean, this is historical. This is a lot of heritage in this rivalry. It goes back a long way. Napoleon, as we know historically, we say this every time we talk about the Napoleon-Liberty game, wore us out for generations. And the communities, they were a dominant football community. I think that has flipped. I think that we respect Napoleon. They're playing football. They get to the playoffs or they have a good program. But in your head, I know that you're more corporate and a little more antiseptic on how you evaluate these things. But emotionally, does this game have a little extra sauce because of that, or is this just a game that you look at corporately and say, "Listen, we've got to execute on things to get to week 3"? This fans feel it. What's your position on that?
It's probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be business as usual, because I don't believe that you can just get up for a big game. I think you have to prepare as though every game is a big game. When it is a big game, it's a little bit easier. I think the proximity, the kids know each other, all of that plays into it. I know Coach Swery, he's a great guy. My daughter cleans his house. So, there's always a local connection there because of the proximity and things like that. And so it does matter, for older generation here in Liberty Center, this game is a big game. We had a period where we didn't play. And so it was a lot of talking about it. If we played, this is what would happen and things like that with people from my generation. And now that
people from mine too.
Yeah, that rivalry started back up, so it's become a big deal. And I don't think our success here recently is going to impact how we prepare for this game. But I do think for Napoleon, it probably is going to matter that they're tired of hearing about, well, Liberty beat you last year or whatever, and so there's probably a little bit of motivation there for them. So we have to understand that. We have to know that they're going to be, juiced up for the game, and we have to match that intensity, or else, we're going to be, in a dogfight and could be on the wrong end of the scoreboard.
Well, certainly week 2, big week, big county rivalry, Napoleon. That's all you have to say. 1-0, obviously coming off a successful 23. Casey, you've got to be happy where you sit today.
Yeah, we told the kids right now we're a 1-win team. So we want to build on that, and we know that Napoleon is coming off a huge rivalry win.
Big time.
And I think anytime they win that game, they have a lot of confidence. Not only the fact that they won, but the fact that they were able to come back and win and shut out Defiance in that second half until the very end. But for 2 and 3 quarters, they really kind of shut them down. So I think their confidence is sky high, and we're going to have a very, very good ball game.
I know our fan base is excited. It's a home game, Liberty Center at Rex Lindgren Stadium, Kip Kern Field. Coach Moeller, we wish you luck this week. Anxious to get to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, welcome back. We've got Brian Jiggs Babcock and the Spike Whitman to preview this game. It's good to sit down with Casey Spike each week. He brings a lot of color and gives you a lot of things you don't see when you go to the game or you watch film, a lot of inside information. And one thing I took from that interview, this coaching staff is loaded. He's got a lot of high IQ, high intensity, attention to detail guys. The thing also I take away from that interview with these coaches is that most are from Liberty, played in the program, but even Matt Bryan and Chris Riggy both dyed in the wool orange and black Tigers. So this Liberty Center football team, 1-0, big win last week against Tenora. Kind of easier than we thought, but Spike, this week, Napoleon. Liberty's won 7 in a row. The last time Napoleon's won this game, 2015. You've seen a lot of Liberty Napoleon games. What's this feel like tonight?
Well, remember when they resurrected the rivalry, we lost 4 in a row.
Was it 4 or 3?
I thought it was 4, but regardless, they come back with 7. But I like to look back at this is the king rivalry of all. I don't care. This is the king. There's a couple others in the league that we really look to, But Napoleon, it raises the shackles on the back of your neck, the hair. I mean, this is the way it was for Kip Kern, for Kip Kern Field. This was the way it was for all these guys, like in 1938 when they won the league championship. 37
or 38?
37,
maybe 38. I'm not sure. You might be right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, it goes back 100 years, 120 years. It was always the little guy, Liberty Center, taking on our next-door neighbor who was 4 times bigger. And the mentality is what has actually helped sustain the Liberty program through thick and thin. these guys bring that aura to the field, and the coaches, you talk about the coaches, what a coaching staff. And then the players buy into it. The coaches turn them into that. Let me mention this week in practice, I was watching the line play, and Nick Miller coaching with Casey happened to step in. And I'm telling you, the intricacies of how one twist of the hips means that you block another guy. One side step of 6 inches means that your blocking assignment has just changed. It's so much read, it's so much intelligence. And so to come into this type of a game, I mean, this is what makes Liberty Center the program it is today, because that feeling has lived in us for 120 years, and it just keeps growing and growing. And I would have to believe that maybe we're the favorite coming in tonight, but Napoleon, let's look at the other side of the coin. Napoleon's tired of losing. I hate losing.
Wait, you hate losing, Spike? I didn't know that.
Hey, and Napoleon, they're going to want us bad. They've got a quarterback, 3rd year. Now they're going to be able to throw the football around a little bit. Maybe we can run the trenches, but that's key. I think that's a key.
Now talk about the trenches a little bit, and not to talk too much about the coaches, Brian, but you got Brad Howe taking over for Paul Amstutz. And Paul did a fantastic job with guards and centers, and Brad stepped right in last week with injuries all up and down that offensive line. Hunter Spangler moving to center, and doing a great job. A lot of credit to Brad Howe, and then Todd Spangler also doesn't get enough credit. These other guys that are also working, when you're down there, Spike, you see them. They're working, they're teaching, and getting these guys' assignments down. And tonight, this game will be one in the trenches. And last week, Brian, Napoleon struggled a little bit against Defiance. Defiance had great success on the ground and kind of got that early lead because of the running game.
Yeah, they did. And, obviously Liberty Center, they were rotating a lot last week, had a lot of different guards in there, a lot of different tackles that were very successful. There were 2-3 deep, and the running game continued to run tonight. With the weather, with the heat tonight, I think that's going to be key, is to continue to rotate some of these linemen, getting fresh bodies out there, no drop-offs, and continue to pound the rock. Because, yes, Napoleon did struggle a little bit stopping Defiance's run last week. We saw Defiance in the scrimmage, and they looked pretty good on the ground, though. So it's not like it was a bad running game that Defiance brought. But I think that's where it starts tonight. He's right at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's important. Clayton Seal, number 71, is an outstanding center. Does not get enough credit last season playing in the shadows of Seth Navarre and Bachelman. But regardless, getting him back allows us to put Hunter Spangler back out at tackle, even though we got great play last week by number 60, Kellen Weimer. He played very well, and Nick Miller's been a big fan of Kellen, a sophomore. And then you've got Stephen Brogan, who net out maybe our best offensive lineman. This offensive line collectively might be as good with last year's stars. And I think some of those rotation pieces have been a big help. And this week, Spike, we did suffer a little bit with some illness. And we're talking about Xander Zeider had some illness this week. Some of our offensive players did. I think Cam got in a little bit of trouble with some illness. So Liberty a little short-handed, but that depth has really helped us on the offensive line. Talk about the depth and what we were able to accomplish last week on the ground with that depth.
Well, its depth has been one of the watchwords of Liberty Center for several years now. Only going back as far as Casey's regime, but I think the coaching staff as a whole, that's been their one thing. Let's keep people in there. Let's keep fresh people in there. And these underclassmen, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out. If you see reps, if you get reps, if you see the field, you understand what it's all about right here. This is what matters. And these guys have learned that. And once you get it in your heart, then it gets in your head, and all of a sudden, you can learn to be a smart player, too.
And that's what I think the value of a Brad Howe and the value of a Todd Spangler, teaching guys like Deacon Swigert, teaching guys all over guys like Mac Walker. And these guys, when they're not getting reps, they're getting mental reps with these assistant coaches. So Nick Miller and his group have done a fantastic job. And Jigs, talk about your thoughts about how Liberty Center has to win the line of scrimmage, because to me, this game's all about the line of scrimmage for us tonight.
Yes, it is. And obviously, Napoleon's going to stack the box. They know we're going to run the football.
7, 8, 9 guys.
We're going to continue to run the football, and then we're going to run it again. So Napoleon has to – they're not going to stop the run, but they have to slow the run down to be able to get the ball back and get their offensive, high explosive offense going. So they're going to stack the box, and a lot of times that does not matter for Liberty Center. We continue to run the ball. We continue to pound, and with the heat and the weather tonight, that's going to wear on people tonight. I think you could see some defenses kind of wearing down in the trenches with some of the heat that you see tonight.
When you talk about roster size as well, 73 guys here at Liberty Center. A large portion of those guys very functional outside their freshman class. Sophomores up. A lot of kids are going to get reps tonight. Offensively, though, I think the key for Liberty Center is going to be maintaining possession of the football and just continuously being patient in that running game. And I think Casey Moeller and Nick Miller both look forward to doing that, keeping this defense fresh and off the field. I think Liberty Center can possess the football. I think Waylon Rentz tonight should be back at 90%, but you've got Garrison, Cruz, who was fantastic last week, and you also have Thomas Moeller. And behind that, you might see some reps from a sophomore Baxter Barrett tonight. The heat, the depth, and some of that illness. And Spike, talk a little bit about the running backs. We had fantastic production last week from Waylon, first play of the game, touchdown. We talk about Garrison. He was fabulous, breakaway touchdown. And Moeller, an excellent reads the blocks, zigzag, smart as it gets inside the tackles. Talk about our running backs a little bit.
Well, Garrison Cruz in practice ran a lot from Rentz's position.
Yeah, the fullback spot.
So he got a lot of reps this week, even with the heat. And so the more that they see that, the more that they aren't just like in his case, the wingback, as they see more of that, it's just going to continue to steamroll. And they've already had the 16-game season last year, the 15-game season before that, and that stuff just keeps adding up and adding up. Now, Napoleon knows that we're going to run the football. So where do we step in with that little play action or that some of the stuff that's off the chart, like the wingback reverse? They had a little trouble with that.
They did
exchange,
last week, right?
On the wingback play. So I'm curious to see just what extra weapons we may use coming out of the backfield with our two quarterbacks.
Jigs, we talked about the pregame just a little bit. Some people want to settle on a guy, and I think Casey's pretty settled on the best guy for the moment.
Yeah.
And our situational quarterback play last week was excellent. I really felt like we got a lot of good play out of Grady Miller. He made some throws, ran the offense, very stable, got into check with beats when he had to. But I think also Caden Kreinbrink showed you that verticality in his arm.
He did.
He could really reach a lot of the field. He can get the ball 40, 50 yards down the field. So you've got a guy that will manage the game, and you got a guy that can throw for you. I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on our quarterback?
Yeah,
play?
I mean, I didn't think they would evenly split last week. I was really surprised by that. How long can they continue to do that? Will they continue to ride this way throughout the season, or will they pick one and go? Obviously Grady has some other skills on offense. You could potentially split him out as a receiver. He's a big target. He's a big body. That's going to be an interesting, unique thing for the offense here on if they continue to split tonight. And what happens with each quarterback? Do they look to do something different? More run, more play action with Grady, more traditional drop back with Kreinbrink. We'll see what happens.
Let me throw something on that. Why do you have to have one guy? Why? This is high school football. It's all about, and especially at Liberty, it's all about team, us. And so use the best player. You might, in a certain blocking scheme, rather not have Hunter Spangler out there. You might want a quicker, a name, Lay. Who knows what you might want to do. But I think the longer that they can use this two-guy system, I think that's money in the bank.
You continue to get your depth, right?
Yeah.
If one were to happen to get hurt, guess what? You're not worried. In the past here at Liberty Center, I think we've worried about, oh boy, who's the next quarterback coming up? That guy's probably not ready. Well, we got two really, really good ones here that just in case something were to happen like that, we have some depth.
Well, I think it's important to note as well, Grady Miller can be a slot receiver. He can catch a 9-cut down the field. He is big, strong, physical, outstanding athlete. He gives you another dimension in the passing game as well.
In run game, too. We didn't see it much. We didn't have to last week,
right.
but you got the 35, 36 power keeps. That's a real part of this offense that Liberty has done traditionally a lot back to Scotty O days. So I think that's another factor we might see tonight. You might see some keeps from the quarterback.
Scotty O is Scotty Overmeyer, a legend.
Scotty.
But old Brian Babcock ran the 35 power keep pretty nicely.
Put it on the hip.
You didn't like throwing it with those like ham bone hands you had, so you wanted to run it more, Brian, and you were a good runner of the football. Our receivers tonight, I think you're going to see a little bit more out of them tonight. Cam Colley was ill most of the week, but a senior, he's going to play.
Yep.
I think Noah Hammontree has really shown to be a reliable catcher of the football.
Yep.
He has really gotten good. And I'll tell you what, the kid that's really jumped off the page for me, number 18, Jackson Lonizak.
Yep.
Yes.
Great size. We saw him breakaway speed, runs routes, smart as a whip, gigantic hands. Greek guy. I mean, this kid has evolved into a two-way impact player for us at the wide receiver, tight end position. And I also think Blake Garber, one of the fastest guys in this team. Liberty can throw the ball. They can throw it deep. They can challenge down the field. And this offensive line certainly can give our quarterbacks time. Now to Napoleon. Certainly hungry and bitter. And we talk a little bit about Tyler Sweary in his third year. If you read between the lines, Spike, in these previews, to your exact point, they've grown tired.
A little fatigued.
And fatigued of getting beat by Liberty, and they haven't just gotten beat.
Right.
They've gotten beat down.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to lose and win a field goal game like last week Napoleon got. That's one thing. Win, lose by a point or two. But getting throttled year after year, and that's what this has turned into. Liberty has dominated this game the last 7 years. So I think the mentality for Coach Sweary in year 3, it's our turn. They're coming in here pretty hungry after a big win last week against Defiance.
Yeah, and that's exactly where it's awful easy. I remember we were cruising along under Lindgren about halfway through, and we'd won a humongous number of games, and we got dialed up. We got beat like 47-12 or something, and it was totally, what? What's this? This couldn't have happened. We were 4 touchdowns better than them going in, and that is exactly the situation that we're looking at tonight. This is dangerous.
Well, Jiggs, let's talk about it, the danger.
Yeah.
Look no farther than maybe the best player in all of Northwest Ohio, Division I player number 3, Trey Rubenstein.
Yep.
You turn the film on, he is big, he is athletic, he can really run, he can start and stop, he's great hands, he likes to be physical.
Yep.
He catches the ball over the middle, he will get down the field and beat your safeties. This guy is the real deal and probably net out, as I've said, the best player in Northwest Ohio. How are we going to look at Trey Rubenstein and defend him tonight? Yeah,
if you watched last week against Defiance, they left a lot of the underneath routes for Trey.
Scared to death of him.
Yeah, they didn't want him to get over the top. So, the 5 and outs, the 15 back to 12 comebacks, he was catching a lot of those balls. And then after the catch, he's got a nasty stiff arm, and he can get loose, and he can out-sprint you too. So the snipers and the linebackers, I think, are going to be key tonight. Because this is a time offense. This is balls out 2 to 3 seconds. Espinosa's got a quick trigger, get it to Rubenstein out. So the underneath coverage is going to be key tonight. Obviously, you're going to have your corners and your safeties back, but underneath coverage to eliminate some of those quick passes and runs after the catch, which he is really good at. And they got some other weapons, too.
Let's talk about those other weapons. Number 6, George Eggers, a junior.
Yeah.
They're running back, and he runs the ball with conviction.
Yep.
And he is an outstanding pass catcher out of the backfield. Oftentimes they'll send Trey Rubenstein one way, and they'll send George Eggers the other way to spread that offense. And then up the middle, you got to get him Parker.
Hey,
Parker Woods is a really good also catcher of the ball as well.
We're getting rained in on. Believe it or not, folks, it's raining now and starting to blow.
Can we get that window? Here we go, guys.
Yeah, shut that down a little bit.
Which one is it? Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Had to operate quickly, get some rain, a little thunderstorm to cool this thing off. But Napoleon is loaded with offensive weapons. And the key to me will be the quarterback tonight, Owen Espinoza, senior, 21 touchdowns last year, threw for 1,600 yards. They won a playoff game, Spike. You talk about us winning playoff games and talk about us going deeper in the season. Napoleon last year and Coach Sweary finally got that all-important win in the playoffs, and they almost won their division. Napoleon's improved under Coach Sweary.
Oh, No doubt. And the whole thing is when you've been the underdog about so long, and all of a sudden, hey, this bites. And finally the kids, they need that breakthrough point, but this is the night that it could happen. As we saw, one of the prognosticators on another radio station predicted a big upset. So, who knows?
We had a big upset last week. They were wrong. And then this week, I think in the Crescent, there's a guy that didn't pick us as well, which is totally fine. But I think the gap has closed, Brian.
Yeah.
Napoleon's getting better. Coach Sweary's program is and you know Coach Sweary personally. He's a great guy.
Yep.
Great family guy, great faith guy. So, a real quality human being, Coach Sweary. At the same time, edgy, hungry. And I think he's got this team playing better. Your observations overall about Napoleon?
Yeah, I think last year, you watched them against Liberty Center, I think you saw a little bit of a quit second half.
Yes.
They were down big, and they kind of went away. You watched the game against Defiance, and that was an overtime game, back and forth. They were down 2 touchdowns early, came all the way back. So that was a hard-fought win on a very good Defiance team. I think Defiance is going to win a lot of games this year. So that's a confidence booster for a team like this. It's got a young offensive line. They got some older, skilled players, but give your offensive line some confidence in that, and they started to run the ball a little bit better in the second half. So I think they're going to be ready to go tonight.
Inside the 20, in the red zone, I thought Napoleon executed their run offense very effectively. They got big, they got wing, they had a lot of power, and they really pushed Defiance around last week, especially late in that game, which anytime you can close wins out or close the gap being down 2 touchdowns, running the football. So they softened up Defiance. They were scared to death at Rubenstein. And we probably are to a degree as well, but then they really started running the football well. Coach Sweary talks about his offensive line. Young, they had to replace 3 guys from last year's offensive line. Not very experienced, but they've got some big bodies at tackle.
They're going to be big.
And I think they're going to get better every week in the run game. So last week, the confidence that Napoleon's playing with, I would say would be off the chart. They finally got that win against Defiance. They had dropped a couple 3 in a row. Coming into this game with an edge. They won a playoff game last year. They had won 5 of 6 to finish the year. Brian, that's a lot of momentum for Napoleon, and this offensive line really grew last week in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. And I think to build on that, the Espinoza kid throwing the ball, you're going to find tonight he is very accurate, and he's got a really, really big arm. I mean, he'll go opposite hash on a 15-yard out, and he's putting it on the money every single time. So he can really throw the football and within the offense, and he's not going to move around much, but he does get it away quick. So, Liberty Center, we'll see how they can pressure in a 2-3 second type of period because it's a quick offense. He's getting the ball out quick, so we'll see kind of how what Coach Brian's got going up for that.
Anytime you have a senior quarterback, Spike, and you've got a good player in Owen Espinoza, he's seen a lot of games. You talked about that. That's a great point. Liberty's played a lot of games the last 3 years. Napoleon, not so much. So you really have to depend on a senior signal caller to get you into things you want to get into, and they are loaded on the skill side. A lot of seniors, a lot of guys. Where they're inexperienced is the offensive line, defensive line. Where they're very experienced is at the wing positions, at the wide receiver positions, with Trey Rubenstein, who's been a player for 15 years, it seems, and a senior quarterback. Talk about how you think Liberty Center has to talk about beating a senior quarterback with a bunch of seniors he could throw to and run to tonight.
Well, and what I've read, kind of to what their coach is alluding to, is they're going to like this, let's keep the ball out of Liberty's hands. We don't want them to establish the running game. Therefore, what will they do? They may very well try to mirror the Liberty Center attack. The whole, taking a chapter right out of Casey's playbook, is we're going to do what they do. This could turn out to be a kind of a tight wad, low-scoring battle, and it may be the breakaway play that decides it somewhere.
And that's a good point, Spike. And keep in mind, Liberty Center's offense in the run game, when they put together 5 to 7 minute drives, a lot of times that can put pressure on an offensive coordinator and make them kind of reach a little bit and do some things they may not, or call some things they may not want to. When you get the ball back, got a 7-minute drive, Liberty punches one point and gets it back, and they go with 3 and out, and it's like, we're going to get another 5-minute drive. There goes the first quarter, and we're just getting the ball back. So that plays into an offensive coordinator play calling psyche.
It's raining
boy,
hard
is it
right
raining.
now.
Holy cow.
So how is that? How could that affect the field?
Right.
The game on this field.
Well, we just got attacked by a pretty big rainstorm. I think we knew there was going to be some scattered showers with torrential and heavy downpours at times. To me, that really plays into our strength.
Yeah.
We're going to run the ball whether it's snowy, rainy, 30, 130.
Yeah.
We're the same kind of deal.
Yep.
Napoleon wants to throw it. They want to look at their athletes on the perimeter. This makes it a little bit more difficult to do that, Brian, and you've been in a lot of games like this in your career. You weren't a great passing quarterback. You wanted to run the football, but in inclement weather, passing was a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting snaps was a challenge.
Getting snaps. I mean, the ball is slippery. You got longer throws going on between quarterback and receiver, so that plays into the receivers catching the ball as well. Fumbles become an opportunity as well. And listen, the heat's the real deal. Like Napoleon had some cramping last week, and it wasn't that hot. So what's going to happen this week? You got 90 out here, and you got some two-way players that are going. That's going to play into this game as well.
You know, when I watched that Defiance Napoleon game, I really started to bear down early on why was Defiance being successful. And I really believe my big takeaway was the physicality and the hitting. And not that Napoleon doesn't want to hit. These young offensive and defensive linemen have not been in a lot of combative games. Tonight, they're going to get combative. Liberty Center wants to compete. They want to get physical. They want to hit. And I think a lot of Liberty people on defense are anxious to lay the lick and win the battle of the hitting. Talk about that, Spike. That was a Rex Lindgren signature.
Yep.
He said, if we can win the battle of the hitting and we can win at the line of scrimmage, we're going to win a lot of games. Rex Lindgren won a lot of games.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, if I were to get in a fight with you, Scott, I figure I got to get the first lick in if I'm going to stand a chance. So I'm going to come out firing, baby.
Yikes.
You're going to get a left and a right. But if I don't get you down right away and I let you hang around, well, that might be issues down the road. And that's what you get in football. You come out and you establish it right away who the man mountain is, who's the alpha male here. And it's basic stuff that Liberty Center has used to their advantage for 120 years. Why change it? You just had Rex come along and proliferate this whole thing. I mean, he just extended it beyond human comprehension. And all of a sudden, these kids are doing things we didn't know we could do that. And all of a sudden, they like it. They like how that feels to be successful. Like if I knocked you down and then whipped on you a couple more times, I'm going to get up and feel pretty darn good about myself.
For sure. Talk about that, Brian, about the physicality. Before we get into the last part of the preview, talk about, I think the element of physicality tonight might be the ultimate advantage. And I'm not saying Napoleon doesn't want to hit and get nasty. I think Coach Sweary's been talking about it. I think they've circled this game on the schedule about when they lost that playoff game. This was a game they wanted to play, and they wanted to get a W. And they knew they had to raise the bar in physicality over there. And you've talked to Coach Sweary about that a little bit. Where do you think Napoleon's at from a physicality perspective, and where's Liberty today?
Yeah, I think they're getting better. I think they're getting better on that game. Now, the hardest part about matching Liberty Center's physicality is you can't replicate it. You can't put a scout team together and give a look that this offensive line from Liberty Center is going to do tonight. So that's the hardest part. And then you get in the game and you start to feel that from this Liberty Center offensive line, and then that starts to wear on you mentally like, oh, man, I don't like that. That's going to keep happening. And then that's where you get the mental game of the offensive line, the physicality.
Napoleon 44-21 in this rivalry, even after 7 wins for Liberty Center. That's 1. 2, Liberty has won 7 in a row. That's dominance from Liberty Center. Now to the field.
To honor our great nation, please remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, please move your hands as we present our color guard, composed of members from local VFW, post 6596 and American Legion 492. Living in a country with freedoms like no other, please sing along as the band plays our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
When that Tiger team is gathered down there by the metal building, the fans are loaded up in the end zone, the band is stretched out, and now the kids are coming onto the field, and we're going to get ready for one of the most raucous.
I think we got the flag football team.
Flag football.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here
see
we
a
go.
Big group coming through here tonight.
Future Tigers, the class of 2041. Man, here we go.
Everybody kind of on the edge. There they are, gathered underneath the goal post. Oh, it don't get no better than this, Tiger fans.
Napoleon in white, all white, blue trim, blue helmets in Liberty Center tonight. Black tops, white pants.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit of a surprise. I kind of like it. It's old school, man. We need some orange helmets with the old black tiger paws. What we need.
Wills here, Napoleon taking their time walking across, and now they come out. But now the Tigers in force. Tight group coming out. Here comes.
Oh man, there's a bunch of them.
Those are your future stars. As we see this bunch right out here go through the same Liberty Center youth program. A couple of them fall out.
I like that look, Spike. Look at that jersey. Look at that jersey. They got the white pants over sharp.
Here we are. This is Tiger Stadium. Now Kip Kern Field, Rex Lingard Stadium. But you talk about the people that went into making this tradition from 100 years ago. I mention that all the time. But I remember as a little boy, everybody was Tiger fans. Everybody. And I was a little kid, and it was. They talked about 40 years ago, and that was 60 years ago.
Spike, I get my hair cut once a month by Hal Huber.
Yeah. Oh,
We talk about Norm Decker. And we talk about old school football, Graves and Carpenters and Kearns. Oh my goodness! Hal Huber is a guy that you want a great haircut. That guy doesn't miss a hair. And you want a good story? Hal Huber. Bowling Green will tell a good Liberty story, but his Norm Decker stories, Spike, are just off the charts.
Well, we're getting set for kickoff. It appears that
Receiving. Let's see, though.
Yeah, let's see what happens here tonight. Rubenstein is back, Spike. He brought one back against us last year, and he is very capable. We'll see if we can't keep the ball away from him or if we just squib it to eliminate some of his big play return ability, because he can take it to the house.
Brian, they talked about kicking it too, Rubenstein.
Okay.
Just to want to lay a few early licks. Hey. But hey, who am I? It's going to be exciting.
Let's see here.
Again, we've talked about it. Trey Rubenstein is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
he can do a lot of cool things.
This is a Division I athlete. And
yes, it is.
You'll see why tonight.
Kent State commit last year as a junior, so you know he's the real deal, Spike.
All right, for all you out there watching, listening in, I'm telling you, this game is going to tell you a lot about our Liberty Center Tigers. It doesn't have to happen in the first 2 minutes. This is 48 minutes long, but this is a great indicator of where we're at. All right, Caden Sonnenberg outside on one side. And on the other side, number 14, Blake Garber. Here's the kickoff. Walker sends it deep.
Nice kick,
into
Max.
the end zone. Wow, boomer right away. And Liberty Center special teams have won the first small battle.
Max Walker
That's
is
a
weapon. I mean, punt, kickoff. Ian Rosebrook can kick him from 45. Brian, this might be the best special teams we have ever had at Liberty Center.
This is just consistent special teams on all three phases of it, and it's just week in and week out. I mean, listen, you get the ball to 20 here, you eliminate that return ability from Rubenstein. What a setup here to start the game.
Here we go. Let's see how Napoleon wants to play it.
Espinoza under center. They've got a deep back. They're going to give to
baby!
Right away behind the line
we
of scrimmage, and it's going to be a loss of 3 yards. That's a smackerino.
And number 63, Stephen Brogan on a run blitz, and just basically sent a message.
Hello.
Number 6, George Eggers, welcome to Rex Lindgren Stadium.
Let's see this replay here.
Run blitz right. That's picking a gap and going right at the running back.
Oh, my.
Great play by Stephen Brogan right there, Spike.
You want to talk about a tone setter to start the game off. There you go. You
Negative
want to
play.
line it up. You want to line it up. Here we go.
3 yards on the play. Second play from scrimmage. Now Napoleon shows a whole different. They've got 3
Grady,
wideouts to the Tiger
one-on-one
side
down
of the
here.
field. Dropping back. Looking over the middle, that's going to be caught on a dive. Goes down at the 21-yard line. Gain of 4.
Real interesting here, Spike. We got Grady Miller. Looks like one-on-one with Rubenstein. No help over the top. That's going to be a matchup to watch. Grady with some length.
Explain that.
Yeah,
they're going to go kind of a
it looked like they were man.
It
looked like they were man there in that possession. I don't know if we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be multiple looks tonight, but shows the confidence in Grady Miller. We got him as a corner there.
Number 84, Braden Black, an effective over-the-middle tight end catching of the football. Good job by Napoleon there.
Now Napoleon spreads out a double receiver set to the far side of the field with a single setback. He'll roll right, looking upfield, fires, lofts it high, bounces off, and almost picked off down there at the 25-yard line. The pass was high. It would have been long enough for the first down, but the ball was high and couldn't wrap it up. That'll bring up 4th down and 9.
He had his man there, Spike. Pretty good throw there, Ona Espinoza. Number 19, Parker Wood, just could not bring it down.
Waylon Rentz
almost
turns Napoleon over inside the 30.
Yeah, he probably would have took that one to the house there, too. I don't think there was a lot of people in
I
front
thought
of him.
Waylon should have finished that puppy, but all right. Good job by the Tiger defense.
Tyler Roars in there on special teams. They got 2 people back at the 40-yard line.
Looks like JT Okrew and Thomas Muller.
Oh, yeah. Now it's kind of drizzling out
Great
there.
kick.
A long, high spiral. Liberty has to let that go. It takes a great Napoleon bounce, hits at about the 32, goes all the way down to the 16-yard line. Holy
You know,
moly.
Interesting there, Spike. Cam Colley not back on that punt return, maybe because of that sickness he had this week. But that was a boomer. I mean, that flipped the field right there. One heck of a kick there by
63 yards
Espinoza.
on the punt with that extra close to 20 yards on the roll.
That was nice.
Boy, for, rolling out and then kicking it, he got a tremendous spiral.
That's that Australian kind of
Yeah.
rules kick, and that was really hard to read and got down the field effectively.
All right, Garber spread out wide over here. Liberty, now they're going to shift. Hammondtree will go to a tight end on the far side with a double wing set. Now motion this way. Now play action. Got a man out there. That was tipped, I believe, wasn't it?
I'm not sure that
Good
it was
coverage,
tipped, but good coverage.
nevertheless.
Not a whole lot of options there for Grady. I think Thomas Moeller maybe out of the backfield may have been the only option he had there. Pretty well covered there by Napoleon.
You know, that's the strength of Napoleon is their back 6 or 7. They cover well. A lot of athletes back there.
Linebackers, yep.
I think Liberty trying to get things a little bit flexed out to open things up for their run game.
Ethan Gray, number 2 now in the lineup as a wideout on the far side. Single setback. They're going to run it to Rentz off the left side, and Rentz breaks one, pounds forward for about 3 yards after the first hit.
Blake Garber with a great finish with block on the outside there. I like seeing that.
Ethan's been injured. He gets in this game and lays a pretty good lick.
Yep.
The spirits are running high. I've seen some Ethan has been out, but he is an awesome offensive weapon when healthy. His hips have been bothering him, but, man, he laid a good block on the corner from Napoleon. Good job by Liberty.
All right, little more convertible third down, 3rd and 6. We've got Cruz spread out wide this way, a wide out to the far side, gives straight ahead, and pounds forward. Good gain, and that's going to be a pickup of 5 yards. Oh, boy.
Looks like just
4th
short
and 1. According to the guesstimate there.
It all started with the great punt that Napoleon was able to execute and got Liberty.
Looks like we might be
behind
going
the
for this
chains.
here, Spike.
Oh, my.
Here we
Hey,
go. Big.
here we go.
This is big time right here.
Big time play right here.
Lanazak, number 18, comes into the lineup, an all-purpose player, and the Tigers are going for it on 4th down and 1 at their own 25.
Look for Napoleon to run blitz here and take a chance.
It's Grady.
Hey,
Grady
there's that
goes
big
forward.
body.
He pounds
There's that
forward.
big
Wow,
body.
what a job. Grady Miller picks up 3 yards on the play. The Tigers move the chain on a colossal gamble by the coaching staff.
You know, Grady's 6'4", 210. That is a big body, and to be able to stop him for no gain, that is a tall task for Napoleon defensive
I
line.
tell you what, our offensive line on the inside.
They got a push there, didn't they?
Well, I think they like the Hunter Spangler, Josh Aguilar at nose guard matchup. Hunter just bullied Josh. Great job by Hunter.
So, Liberty 1st and 10. Give right up the middle. Running room. Rentz gets up to the 35. Now they're going to mark that a little tight. They're going to give him a long 4 on the play.
Continue to like the blocking down the field, Spike. There was 2 or 3 players just on safeties and corners, just finishing their block, just waiting for a running back to spring one here, and it's probably going to happen tonight. And they want to finish. They want to have the finishing block, so very impressive downfield blocking so far.
All right, Rentz, the main running back, comes off. Tigers line up with a triplet set of receivers over here. Rolling this way, looking upfield. Now hesitate, pump fakes. That's
Nice
caught
catch.
right there. Great hands across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7 yards and a Tiger first down to Ethan Gray.
Nice controlled pass there by Grady Miller's first option was not there. Came back down to Ethan, put one right on him.
Ryan Miller loves Ethan Gray. You saw him catch that ball real
That's a
soft.
hands catch.
Sat down and right in the seam there and converted the first down. Great job by Ethan Gray.
Ethan Gray now spread out wide to the far side. Tigers with the double wing set. Rents the single setback. Motion, Moeller. They're going to give it on a little bit of a cross reverse coming back this way. Pickup of a couple.
Xavier Foudy got some penetration. 5'10",
Good
223-pound defensive lineman. Good job by Xavier. And that play had potential, but he got that penetration and got horizontal down the line of scrimmage. Brian made a big-time play there for a short gain.
That could have been a big gainer there if he did not
The
make that tackle.
Wildcats have an injury early on.
Josh Aguilar looks like Spike.
Nose tackle. Hunter Spangler doing a fantastic job at center. I think that was what the
the motivation was their Spike and Brian on that fourth down. They like that matchup with Grady and his size and Hunter with that advantage. And I think Josh Aguilar is a good football player, but Hunter has really proven to be a competent blocker, and he is a brute. It's a big man right there. Hunter mics out at 6'4", 260, and I think that's a little light. That's a big man.
Listen, you take 260 and then you take a 210 Grady. That's 370 pounds coming down on you.
470 pounds.
Me, I do that. Yeah.
They blew in on what you described a run blitz. Are they trying to cover something up? Are they trying to go all out? Are they gambling?
Yeah, to me, a run blitz is basically they're looking at a formation and they're running at a formation, whether it's at a wing or at a half. They're just determining running against strength, and they're running at a running back in a gap. They're picking a running back to run in versus just running to get to the quarterback. That would be the biggest difference between a run blitz and a regular pressure blitz. That was what Stephen Brogan did to start the game. That was a run blitz because they were in a run formation, Napoleon was.
All right, 2nd down and 8. Rentz in motion. They're going to give it to Rentz around the left side. Tries to cut it up. Stays on his feet. Rambles. Pours forward. Picks up 3 tough yards.
You know, that was a really good-looking play to start, Brian. I mean, I saw a great block by Stephen Brogan, and I don't know if Waylon lost his feet.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of slipped a little bit. And
this turf could probably have some surface slippage with that rain we got in the pregame.
Now, great night. I think that broke the heat just slightly. So,
well, give Napoleon credit. Liberty, no big plays last week. That's all you saw was big plays. Napoleon right now keeping Liberty to short gains.
All right, Moeller to that side. Gray over here. Now Moeller back in motion this way. They're going to give it. No, play action. Over the middle. Picked off. That's the big play we were concerned about, and Napoleon came up with one. Tackle made by the Goose.
Trey Rubenstein makes the play, and it was pretty fantastic. I mean, there's your athleticism. You got a wide wingspan. It was a kind of a tough throw to make, and that's what Trey Rubenstein does for you.
I think he had, I don't know if that was Garrison Cruz open. I don't know if that was a halfback or tight end, but he looked like he was open. Grady tried to slide that one in there. Maybe could have put a little bit more air on it, but what a play by Rubenstein.
It was a quick pass left, it looked like, and Rubenstein just being a tremendous athlete.
Hey, that's Napoleon, pretty good opening drive there defensively and got the turnover. They got to be really liking where they're at so far.
All right, the Wildcats with the football at Liberty's 45-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Pat fumbled, and Espinoza has to fall on it back behind the 50-yard line. Loss of 6 on the play. Simply a low snap.
Blaine Ford is their center tonight. He's a senior. He's seen some snaps, but he may not have seen snaps against a front three like Liberty Center's going to throw at him tonight.
I think defensively it looks like they continue to go man on the outside with Grady on Rubenstein.
Well, and if he can fill the bill there,
that's big.
Helps everybody else on the Tiger defense. All right, 2nd down. We'll call it 16 to go. The ball back at Napoleon's 49. Rolling right, throws over the middle. That's caught. Running room, and picks up about 15 yards coming back the other way. Napoleon now back in 3rd and short.
That's the motion they like a lot, Spike, right there. They'll take that slot receiver, sit him down at about 10 yards on a curl, then Rubenstein on a 5 and out. It's tough because it's a quick – he's getting the ball out quick. He's turning. It's a rhythm route. Pretty good throw there and catch by Napoleon.
All right, well, Liberty sees what they've got to deal with now. Napoleon, multifaceted, although the running game has yet to show itself. All right, White out there, wing back on the right, out of the gun. Drops back, slops it underneath. That's out there, caught, and peeled right there at the line of scrimmage.
Great pursuit there. Blake Garber, Waylon Rentz. That's going to be important tonight. Tackling, eliminating the yards after the catch. Great rally there for
George Eggers with a very nice catch.
Yeah, that's a big body.
One-handed. That's a big dude. Yep.
All right, that brings up now 4th down and a short 3 yards for the Wildcats. They've got the ball on the Tiger 37-yard line.
Watch Rubenstein here on a comeback.
A wide out to either side. Wing package set to the right. Tight end on the right. We've got a flag.
Now, if you're Blake Garber, depending where you're at here.
Oh, boy, this is a critical call already. on 4th and 3.
And Napoleon has come to play tonight, and Coach Taylor Swery isn't going to give an inch tonight.
No.
You're going to see a lot of going forward on 4th down tonight. 4:24 remaining in the first quarter, and this game has really got a tone to it.
Yes, it does.
Napoleon has come to play.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, and a turnover. You hate to pump them early, and that excites them. Now, that
Looks like
changes the schematics by a long way here. 4th down and 8.
Big penalty. Now, keep in mind, Spike, they got the quarterback is the punter here. So we've got to be aware of
Watch
fakes.
the fake.
All right, Napoleon appears to be playing field position with the ball at Liberty 43. And gets it off. High, spiraling punt. That's going to hit it to 2, go into the end zone. So Liberty Center stops Napoleon on defense and forces a punt. Liberty Center will take over again this quarter from their own inside their 20-yard line.
Very, very interesting start here. You know, Liberty Center obviously last year did not get a lot of challenges during the regular season. I like seeing this.
Yep.
This is very good.
Caden Kreinbrink in at quarterback.
All right, Kreinbrink in. Tigers with a rather tight formation. Wing back to the left. Now they've got a slot receiver over there with Hammontree.
Motion.
And
False start.
motion, I think, will draw the penalty, and it'll be a 5-yarder.
Casey cannot stand the 1st and 10, get behind the chains penalty. That gets your offense, out of rhythm and out of time.
Yep.
And again, give Napoleon credit. I think that they've come to play, and Liberty needs to get this thing strapped on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1st and 15. Fortunately, Liberty Center's got their whole set of downs. Couple wideouts to the far side. Now shifting in is Cruz for a wingback look. Now motion out of Moeller. They're going to give it to Moeller off the left side. Spins off a hit. Still driving. Pumps across the 20 and up to the 21. So he'll get back the penalty yardage, and that'll bring up 2nd down and around 9 to go.
Pretty good run there by Thomas, finding some.
Yeah, bounced off a tackle and picked up another couple. But Napoleon showing well at the line of scrimmage.
They really are.
We talked about in the pregame, a long pregame today. We talked about the line of scrimmage, and right now, give Napoleon credit. They're matching Liberty Center's physicality.
All right, I believe that's Gray spread out wide to the far side, single setback. They're going to power it straight ahead. Running room air, kicks it over, leaps a tackle, Wentz, gets past the Nolan, now cuts to the right, straight arms a man. He's right
get
there.
off me.
Broke another tackle, still carrying
Holy
Napoleon
cow.
tacklers all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Did you see who he stiff arm right there?
Wow.
He just threw Trey Rubenstein to the ground with that stiff arm. What a run
That
by
is
Waylon
a
Rentz. My goodness.
Big boss man kind of
Holy,
run
watch
by
this
number
right
19.
Here. Get off.
Whoa.
Oh, my. Wow.
46 yards of brute beauty mixed together in one pot of golden territory.
That was a nasty left arm there, Waylon Rentz. Holy cow.
All right, now Cruz in motion. And that's straight ahead to Rentz, and he'll power down inside the 30 to the 28.
Now,
that's going to be a gain of about 6 on the play.
Scott, I'll go to you on this, but when you play against a Division I type player as a competitor, what do you want to do? You want to raise your level of play as well? Well, guess what? That was a
Not only do you want to raise your level of play, but you'd like to ID where he is at and give him a taste.
Let me see.
Give him a taste.
Let's see how we match up right here. Pretty impressive there.
Tigers come out
Rentz.
now. Single back, motion this way. They're going to pitch to the motion
Power.
man.
Big
That's
cut.
Moeller. Moeller cuts it up.
go.
Look at Stephen Brogan down the field, just getting to it.
Oh, my.
My goodness.
Gain of 11.
Liberty now starting to pick up a little momentum.
Here we go.
Did you see number 63, Stephen Brogan,
in the end zone,
blocking 18, 19 yards down the field? Man, oh, man.
Just keeps coming.
That's where those big plays happen in the run game.
Yep.
When you got your guards at the goal line blocking.
Well, on Rentz's 47-yard run, we had Liberty blockers strewn out all over the whole field.
I think Liberty has been awakened a little bit here. Napoleon matched them early up front. Here we go.
All right, Tigers going with their beef up front. Here's the give straight ahead. Cruz pounds forward. That's just driving thighs and what a grinder.
Body blows. Body
straight ahead.
blows.
Just keep coming. That's what this Liberty Center offensive line does. Just keeps coming.
That offensive line, you got Hunter Spangler at center, Max Walker at a guard, Brogan at the other guard, Giesige, one of the tackles, along with Kellen Weimer, and they are doing a grind-out job.
Moving some bodies.
2nd down and 2, ball at the 11. Here they're going to run pitch sweep, cutting it back up inside is Rentz. Rentz runs into a host of tacklers, gets to the 10-yard line.
Great play
picks
there.
Up a couple, and it'll be close to first down yardage.
Rubenstein kind of setting the edge of that defense, took on a block from Mueller and made the tackle. It's a pretty nice play there.
35 seconds to go in the quarter, guys. This has turned into a slugfest, just the way we like it over here.
All right, we've got 2 plays to pick up a yard. Ethan Gray spread out wide to the Napoleon side of the field. Otherwise, a tight formation. Cruz the wing back left. Give power football off the right side. Running in there. Breaks off one. Pounds inside the 5. Down to the 3-yard line.
Steady diet of inside run, Brian. And I think they have found their rhythm inside the tackles.
You're right. There hasn't been a lot of outside. There's not been a lot of 5, 6, 7 whole stuff. It's
0,
been
1, 2, 3, power up, set the trap. Here we go.
Oh, and you couldn't have set it up better. Now Liberty Center 1st and goal at the 4. The first quarter clock runs out, and now Liberty Center can look at this as a 4-down series, how they're going to kind of set this up. Not just one play at a time necessarily.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors: KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them. They support us, so please support them.
All right, let's not count any chickens before we certainly hatch. But we talked about the offensive line last year. Scott directly mentioned it. And the turnover to this year. What did we see right there? Grind them out football.
Well, I think we talked about it. I think Nick talks about Brady Giesge being the anchor of the offensive line, and Stephen Brogan is the best offensive line in the NWOAL. And you got Hunter Spangler setting blocks, sophomore Kellen Weimer. I mean, then you've got guys all over. Max Walker getting some reps tonight. This offensive line is starting to really grind Napoleon's interior linemen to a fine dust.
All right, Tigers break the line of scrimmage. They come out. Walker, the guard on the right. We got a double wing set, motion this way. They're going to give to the motion man. Look at the pile forward, pile drive, pounds it. He's into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Again, inside the tackle, Spike and Brian. Not a lot of messing around. No more fancy stuff. First down passes. Even the stuff coming back off the wing. Pounding the 0-1, the 2-3 inside the tackles. That is just being outright physical, like the old Rex Lindgren days right there.
All right, Fitzenreiter, the snapper. The hold, that's up. No, it's blocked. Somebody busted through
Rubenstein.
there.
So he's a difference maker, Brian. We talked about it, and not just on offense. But Rubenstein.
You never know what that could lay portent to.
Here's the replay. Watch number 3 off the edge here. That's going to be a touchdown.
Kellen Weimer,
Waylon Lentz, great block right there. Good lead block.
Just massive humanity inside. Good-looking drive there, Spike, by the Tigers.
And that extra point kick wasn't just tipped blocked. That was manhandled. They found a hole, and they executed. They got inside on us big time. That, I guarantee, will get looked at and fixed.
Well, listen, in these tight games, these extra points are a big deal. You think about last week against Defiance, that tight game, and I think they jumped on it. There missed extra point by Defiance, 1 or 2, that really affected the outcome of that game. Listen, that's a point in a tight game like this, potentially That's a big extra point missed.
Right. Now, we've seen how Liberty Center answered after their interception. Now, how will Napoleon answer after they gave up that 80-yard drive?
That's right. See who we kick to here. See if Max can put another one in the end zone.
Now, Rubenstein back deep over on the far side. Here comes Walker. He delivers low
Great
line
kick.
drive, and that's going to hit 3 yards deep in the end zone. And once again, he finds that orange territory. That was a kickerino.
That eliminates the threat of Trey Rubenstein's returns when you
so
blast the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
Great job by Max Walker again.
Can you return it out of the end zone?
You can go back and get it if you want.
If you want.
you
You
sure?
can
I thought when
return
I thought when it hopped, well, maybe it hopped.
If it touches, I think it's dead.
I thought, did it hop in the end zone on the first hop, or did it get in the end zone?
No, it was direct.
Was it?
It
All
was 3 deep.
Looks like we got Baxter Barrett in there at a linebacker checking in here.
Good ball game last week by Baxter.
Yes, he did.
All right, give to motion coming around the outside and spearheaded right there. Maybe a yard on that desperation dive, and that's it.
Is that Waylon Rentz, I believe, on that tackle there?
Starting linebackers, Liberty, Waylon Rentz on the inside and Steve Brogan on the inside. But then you've got Cruz is kind of a outside linebacker.
He's a Sam, a strong side, tight end type linebacker. Those guys going to get a blow. Your younger linebacker set in here. Yep. Baxter Barrett in this, and so is Lonazak.
All right, out of the gun. Double wide receiver, low snap. Nice recovery.
Yeah.
That is a staggerino. Yes. Boy, they powered him the low snap, and the Tigers were all over that.
How about Cifuentes? Is that his
first
snap? Let's watch this again here. Inside.
Yeah,
just
boy,
bulldog. That center.
Wow, a little bit of a cheap shot there by number 54, Blaine Ford. Little upset that he got blasted. So after the whistle, I'm surprised that we did not throw a flag on that.
Wow. Cifuentes took him 7 yards back right into the quarterback's lap with the sack.
I do like the nasty play by Napoleon, but that was a little post snap there for me.
Let's see if we get see if they throw one up here to Rubenstein.
Xander Zider in the game now, number 33.
All right. Hey, this is some of the depth we're talking about, right? Cifuentes comes in, his first snap, gets a sack like that. I mean, that's a guy that he's continued to show last week at a guard, made a lot of really good blocks on offense, and defensively they're big play.
I talked to Nick Miller about Cifuentes, and he said, listen, he's rising.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I think it's something that Brian talked about earlier. When you're that deep, the competition goes 3 and 4 deep, the depth chart on competition. And I think Logan Cifuentes is a part of that, and he's earning himself some snaps tonight.
We'll see here. I think they might dial a deep one up to Rubenstein.
Well, Napoleon, after the timeout.
3rd and 14. What do we got here? Yeah, third and 14, 15.
Hey, real quick, some scoring updates. St. Henry 14, Archibald 0.
Right.
Delta and Fairview are tied at 7.
All right, good games there. All right, look for Napoleon to go for the 15 yards. Looking upfield, throws high, got a man wide open, caught at the 40. He's going to outrun everybody. And gone on 3rd and 15. They put it up, nobody there. And Napoleon gashes Liberty for 80 yards, 83 yards, and all of a sudden, just like that, Napoleon with a chance to take the lead over the Tigers.
Looked like a tight end down the middle.
Uncovered.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw him.
No responsibilities in the zone, and they're IDing 6 and 3 so hard that seldom use Garrett Hall just wide open down the field, and touchdown Napoleon.
Hey, they got some big play potential now. I mean, they can throw it around the yard. We saw it there.
Mariquin to handle the kicking chores. Low line drive is good. And Napoleon snatches the lead out of what looked like pretty safe defensive positioning for the Tigers. And now the Wildcats lead it 7-6.
3rd and 15. Take the timeout, scheme it up. They saw something up top. Give Napoleon's coaches credit.
They did.
They saw something in that zone, 3-man side. I think that was a 3-man side tight end, wasn't it?
It looked like it might have been a cover 3 there, and they ran kind of the 2, and I think Thomas might have had his eyes to the right because there was another threat up that sideline, maybe. But he came late. It may have been like a delayed type of route.
Yeah, that replay would be essential. That could have been a delay because our eyeballs are on 6 and 3 and 19.
Yep.
And wow, great job to identify the tight end, wide open, big play.
All right, Napoleon had a bad snap, but they somehow came out of there with the big one. And now Liberty Center. They're going to find out what they're all about.
Right.
We'll have to come right back and answer this.
JT Okrew back with Ethan Gray. JT had a nice return there last week. Ethan's got some playmaking abilities as well.
2 dynamic return people.
Liberty is loaded with kids that are really good in the open field. Ethan Gray, public enemy number 1. But I tell you, JT Okrew last week showed some stuff, and then he came back in the JV game, and you couldn't play one-hand touch with him. So.
All right, well, let's see what Liberty can come up with here to answer. Short end over end, that's going to come up taken there by Bartels. Bartels makes a cut to the right, running room, shoots over a tackler, battles his way up near the 50-yard line. Jack Bartels with an explosive power return, and the Tigers back in business.
That's a good answer there by Jackson Bartels. Some great blocking on that short kickoff. He made the most of it. Great field position here for Liberty Center.
All right,
this game's got some juice a little bit, Spike.
Yep,
for sure. This one feels a little bit different. This one feels a little bit different.
Now, Napoleon has wanted this game, and they look it.
30-yard return, and the Tigers now in business. Spread wide to this side. Number 14, Blake Garber. Tigers shift over. Wing back over here, Cruz. Power football.
There's your blitz.
Smashing in. And they take out Liberty Center.
Romeo Cordoba from the secondary.
We've got some late flags coming in there. Ouch.
And Napoleon again is going to take some shots at some run blitzes.
Yep.
That was basically a defensive back. Romeo Cordoba came in and made a great tackle before that play got started.
Yeah, he beat Max to the point. Max didn't even have a chance to get in there. Who's this on here?
Against Liberty Center.
It's bad.
Boy, the Tiger fans very irate over that one. Wow.
I'm not sure who they had there.
Well, it was a post. It was a post tackle. The play was over, and there was a little conversation, and Liberty got caught.
All right. Now, Liberty Center facing second down and forever. All right, they're going to roll out, looking upfield. Miller can't find anybody, has to tuck it under, scrambles up across the 30-yard line. Pickup of a couple, but now Liberty looking at nearly 30 yards. Third down and 28 from their own 29.
Point expecting pass there. Not a lot open for Grady. Just had to pull it down and see what he could get.
Looked a little indecisive.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't see something early. Maybe he saw something. Then he did. That indecisiveness cost him some yards on the run.
All right, Kleinbrink now out of the gun. Single setback. He'll hand off to Rentz around the right side, breaks a tackle, kicks it outside to the outside. Running room. He's got it across there. Still going.
Oh, they got a flag.
He's got a first down and more all the way down inside the 40, down inside the 35.
Going to be against us, looks like.
I think they got Ethan Gray on hold. Not sure if it was.
35-yard run, but it's going to come back. No, a stinking rotten yellow flag laying back there around the 45-yard line.
Second huge flag here against Liberty Center. Wow, that was a back-breaking play,
Liberty
too.
Center had everybody out there. Rentz with a couple of golden moves, sprinted and leaped and powered his way And it's going to come back on the hold. Oh, my.
Yeah, it was against Ethan Gray. And, you get out in that perimeter, and it's
tough.
hard to keep guys in front of you.
He's on a corner, and he breaks one way, and,
you're holding him.
That's tough.
That 38-yard run turns into a gain of 3. Now Liberty Center with a 3rd and 25, we'll call it, ball. Back on their own 34. So the Tigers put a wide out to either side. Wing package to either way. Empty backfield. Rolling out, looking, throws a home run ball, got a man out there. Oh. And just couldn't come up with the catch. Wentz had to come.
Yep, that was Jackson, Lonazak.
Jackson, Bartels had to try to come back to get the ball. Had his man deep.
He had him, and Jackson had his mitts on it.
It was tough. He had to come back for the ball a little bit. Pretty good throw on the run from Kreinbrink. Gave him a chance. Not able to convert.
I would have liked to have seen Kreinbrink maybe stop and set his feet. I like him. He's got a good arm. He does a great job as he rolls to his left. He's got enough arm to get it 35, 40 yards down the field. And Lonazak had a really good look at that because the defender had his back to the ball.
Right.
Hey, while we got an injury timeout, I want to we don't normally do shout-outs, but we've got a family in Kolbitz, Germany.
Whoa.
Number 24, Martin Moeller, is an exchange student here this year. His family is having a watch party at 1 a.m. in Germany in order to watch this game. So thank you. Appreciate it. We'll take good care of your son.
Hopefully they're eating some Wiener Schnitzel and eating some popcorn. And having some
we have brats and sauerkraut in there.
Having some warm beer.
Martin is standing right on the 40-yard line.
Number 10, Hayden Gherkin. Important player to their program. Looks like he's got something wrong with that right foot. Hope he's okay.
Also, don't forget, if you're out there watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. That helps us. Also, tomorrow, we've got football and volleyball here from Rex Lindgren Stadium. Volleyball from the Varsity Gym. Join us at 10 a.m. as we bring it to you live.
All right, back deep to punt is Walker standing at his 22. Gets off a high spiraling kick. That's going to hit it to 25. Take a good Liberty Center bounce down to about the 22 where it's going to be blown dead.
Nice kick there by Max. Kept it away from Rubenstein.
44 net yards with the bounce.
Pretty good.
Napoleon showing their capabilities on both sides of the ball. Been very impressive spike up front. They've matched Liberty's physicality for sure.
Well, Liberty Center showed they could run the football, but a couple of penalties here have really been killers. All right, so now Liberty Center in the same position they were before on defense. 1st and 10 at their own 16 of the Wildcats. Throw out underneath.
Nice play, Grady.
And brought down. That's going to be a loss of 3 on the play.
Boy, he was all over that one, wasn't he? Sniffed that out.
Good pursuit of the football. Good gang tackling. Liberty got 3 or 4 guys at the point of attack, but Brady, great job.
Yeah, you've seen Napoleon go away from the run here a little bit. We'll see if, they've had some success in the passing game. We'll see if they abandon the run altogether and just try to sling this thing all over the place.
They have the ability. They got guys that can go vertical. I like the horizontal passing game.
Yeah.
The vertical game, I think, is a little bit more of a threat against us tonight.
All right. Barrett stays in there at middle linebacker. All right, rolling right, looking upfield, under pressure, has to finally just lob it out there.
Great job, Grady.
And Grady Miller, not giving an inch, stayed with his man, Rubenstein, all the way up the field. The ball incomplete at the 33.
Pretty impressive there. If you watch film, there's a few routes that they like to do with Rubenstein. That's one of them. That little 5 and out, Grady all over that one. He turned it up, still able to stay on top. Great corner play.
Blanket. I mean, really matched him step for step and then really closed and the ball in the air. Great job by Grady.
Okay, Zeider, we didn't know was going to be able to get in the lineup, but he's out there now on defense. Schweiger, number 57, also out there on defense. They want that mobility. 3rd and 13 from their own 12. Drops straight back, looks upfield, has time,
much
now
time.
fires.
Too much time.
And hit. And
Thomas.
I don't know, incomplete. Who got the hit?
Thomas Moeller guard that.
Moeller
Yep.
right on the spot.
I'll tell you what, Liberty Center, really good job defending the middle of the field there.
Yeah.
Baxter Barrett slammed that drag, and Moeller then really closed on that 18 and in. Great job, that little slant, and Liberty now a little bit more cognizant. The antenna's up in the middle of the field. Good job, good adjustment by defensive coordinator Matt Bryan.
All right. So,
Man.
7.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 7-6, Napoleon leads.
Espinoza can
And
absolutely
they've got a
put it on the
4th and 13, and
timeout here. Espinoza can put it on the mark, man. That was a really good throw again.
really
if you
was.
give him some time, he can really throw some dimes. Looked like Liberty kind of just rushed 3 there, dropped everyone else into that zone. He was still able to almost complete that thing.
Espinoza had too much time there, but he was looking in the middle of the field the whole time. You did not see him look wide to me, and I think Liberty did a great job of shutting down the inside the hashes. He was looking to me inside the hashes if you followed his eye, and Liberty did a great job. He kind of double clutched that initial drag, and man, Moeller really closed on that in route.
It's a good break by Thomas.
all right, we've got Old Crew and Gray standing back at their own 45-yard line. 4th and 13 from Napoleon.
One thing,
From the
Spike, if
12.
I may, this game is so important to Napoleon. They won't do it here, but watch for fakes.
All right, rolling out and gets
What a kick.
spiraling kick. That's going to be taken back at the 40-yard line.
There we go.
Turn straight
That's
ahead.
it. That's it right there.
Hold on, that ball.
Oh, boy.
Gray keeps driving and slips and pounds and slips his way inside the 45 down to the 42.
You see why Ethan Gray is in this game. He's missed a couple weeks of practice, but man, that is one slippery dude.
Yeah, he's got a little cut and go.
Picked up 18. I will take 18 yards on a punt return all day long and twice on the weekend.
Great job by Ethan Gray, and that was a lot on his own. There wasn't a whole lot of blocking.
He had 3 guys kind of waiting on him, and he was able to create.
You've seen a lot of snaps here, Spike. He hadn't played in a while.
Yep,
See how
Gray now
important he
back
is.
into the lineup. Garber spread out wide to the far side. Tigers in a wing set left. They're going to play some power football off that left side. Runs into a lot of contact. Napoleon swarms to the ball. And a gain of a couple for Rents.
Xavier Foudy again, number 67. They're getting some penetration and running plays down from behind. Napoleon's got a good scheme against this run game so far.
Yep.
But we've proven we can move it. It's just a chess match every time. Every play is different. All right. Wing set to this side. Wide out over here. Run
Fumble.
formation. And
We held on to it.
That
Great
ball
play
was-
by Whalen.
That ball was bobbling.
Yeah, that was. You know what? I don't know that Napoleon's done this, but it looks like those linebackers, they move them into that 0-1 holes, and they're almost blitzing that every time. That's what it looks like to me.
Taken away.
Because that's where they were gashing Napoleon earlier, is that 0-1 hole, and I think they're just about blitzing every play right now.
Well, they're just taking chances. They know. They want Liberty to throw the ball around, and it's good to see Clayton Seal in this football game tonight, too.
big, everything's a big play. But on 3rd and 9, in the space we're at, we need to get at least 4 or 5 yards here. All right, trick receivers to the wide side. Miller rolling right, fires upfield, and
Needed some air.
Cruz a little open, but throw incomplete. That's going to make it 4th and 9, and it's a tough situation.
That needed
for
a
the
little
Tigers.
air.
Yeah.
He was running. He had a step.
Yeah, Gary had somebody underneath him, a little bit of air on that thing, let him run underneath it. I think he had a little bit of running lane there, too, if he wanted to pull it down.
You really got to get positive yards there to put yourself in position, to go for it on 4th down. So,
All right, so Max Walker standing at his own 45. Kind of pooches it. It's going to hit at the 22, picked up back there at the 10-yard line.
Job
and
defense.
he pays a penalty for that, gets 3 yards of it back to the 15, And Liberty Center with 5:48 to go will go back on defense with Napoleon once again pinned deep.
Good swarming coverage there by the punt team. Host of tacklers in there. That's what you want to do on a dynamic returner swarm. 4 or 5 Tigers on that tackle.
Talking to players about special teams, and my son is Baxter Barrett. You do not want your head down. You want your head up. See your target. Sometimes we're trying to look for the hit. Let's get the tackle made.
All right, single coverage. They're
Oh,
going to
wait,
give
we
it
go.
off that side. Nothing there, and he's nailed in the backfield. That's going to be a couple-yard loss. Yes.
Napoleon is just not going to run the football tonight much against Liberty Center. They're going to have to throw it, and that's where they can get it done.
Yeah.
This young offensive line is just not going to hold up against our front six. Those linebackers are just all over their keys. And
Waylon Rentz is, if you break a film down on him in the end zone, it is so technical.
he reads it, he
He
diagnoses
reads
it,
and
he
it's
gets
film
there.
study, and it's coaching from Eric and Brian. I mean, there's no misplace.
Well, he's been a disciple of Eric
Do you
Weimer.
suppose Napoleon's trying to run a little clock here
Well,
with the
maybe.
field
Could
position?
be.
Maybe.
All right, 2nd and 12 from their own 13. Looks
Going
back to throw, in trouble, scrambles out of it. Running room up the sideline. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by Giesecke. Good pursuit there, and maybe only a couple of yards at the most, so the Tigers do a good job.
Logan
great.
Cifuentes again
Yeah.
on the play. The quarterback gets flush. Espinoza goes to his left.
Andy held off. He didn't hit him out of bounds. Grady there, same deal. Rubenstein at that 15-yard back to 12 out. He was all over it, blanketing. Grady Miller's playing a really good corner tonight. I think Rubenstein's probably only has 1, maybe 2 catches for minimal
Well, he's going to
yardage.
be he's going to be a factor in this game before too long.
All right,
They're looking his way right now,
They're
going
gonna
deep,
throw
right
the
to him.
home
He's
run
on it.
ball. It's one-on-one coverage.
Great job,
and the
Grady.
overthrown incomplete.
Hey, right on time. We talked about it. He is going to be inserted in this game one way or the other on
Look
the
at-
perimeter, running 9 cuts down the field.
All right, now we see where Liberty Center could possibly be setting themselves up. They elected to punt.
Yep.
They threw the ball on 3rd down, where they could have maybe played field position. But now they've stopped Napoleon. They've got all the time they need, and they are set to maybe get possession of the ball at midfield.
Spike Grady Miller holding up real good
That was
against
great.
a major D1 athlete out there in Trey Rubenstein.
Yes.
He's
Stride
been
for
challenged
stride.
down the field, and he has made it.
Tigers do a good job of stopping a possible fate. That's taken there at the 45-yard line. Great.
Yep, there's the penalty right there on Sonnenberg.
And ouch. So a return of 8 yards by Gray is going to be
You got to try to hold
nullified
off
again.
there,
Yep.
just kind of stop and get in the way.
Well, let
And you-
Ethan Gray do it. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy. If you
Right.
can see his
Let
numbers
him
spike.
turn.
Last week it was Baxter Barrett. This week,
What do we
It is-
got on
it is
penalties? Anybody
Caden
have any
Sonnenberg.
idea? We probably got 70, 50, 60 yards, I would think. We got, 2 personal fouls?
you got one
Yeah,
on
I know
sportsmanlike.
there
I know
was
that.
one
Back, we had a 45-yarder call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
total yardage and impact on plays
Oh,
is
man.
big. That was another bad penalty. Casey's just going bonkers over these special team penalties. Brian Hefflinger's done a great job taking over for Paul Amstutz, but man, it's some guys very anxious to play, and you see those numbers, guys, lay off.
All right, starting to get a little darker here. Boy, instead of having the ball inside the 50-yard line, the ball goes all the way back to the 37. So Liberty Center fighting a field position battle with these crushing penalties. Well, they're going to have to find a way to get right past it. All right, one wide out to the far side. 2 in the backfield, wing set right. Under center, give power straight ahead. That's going to be a gain of about 4. Moeller gets up across the 40 to the 41, gain of 4 on the play.
Take that on 1st down, just a dive. Thomas Muller straight ahead.
Yeah,
Good
there's-
yardage. Give you some,
and
give you some
in
options.
practice, they have a 2-minute offense. They have a 4-minute offense. They work on these situational plays. All right, wing right set, wide out here, 2 in the backfield. Give to the first
Again,
back. A lot
same
of range
play.
in there, straight up the middle. And Moeller pounds down to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 15 yards and a Tiger 1st and 10 now.
Napoleon
in
has
their territory.
Napoleon Spike's done a really good job on these wider plays, chasing down the line of scrimmage and guessing right on blitzes and getting those secondary people involved in the run game. These dives, right to the point of attack down the field.
And if you miss on a blitz, there's no one there.
Crime Brink under center, wide out to the far side. Give to the first back, left side. Oh,
motion.
Play was blown dead.
This is going to be on Garber.
Somebody moved. It's going to be a procedure against the Tigers.
Man, oh man, Liberty Center and the penalties. This is just not the way Casey wants to play.
Well, we just overcame one penalty, but now we're right back in there now. 1st and 15
Like they
behind
called it
the
on
marker.
Blake Garber. He was split out wide, and that's a tough penalty after you gain 6-7 yards on a dive.
All right, now what's the Tiger offense going to pull out of their bag of tricks here? 1st and 15. Ball is on their own 49-yard line. Tight formation. Motion, Cruz. They're going to give it straight ahead to Rentz. Rentz takes on 2 tacklers, and he'll get back the 5 yards they lost on the penalty. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Tigers like that power stuff up inside. They're going right at Napoleon.
Yeah, and I think, Spike, too, you got 3 minutes here and good possession here by Liberty. Just drive this thing down, see if we can't punch one before the half.
And get possession.
Yeah, and get possession in the second half, and don't give them the point of the ball back.
Well, Kate Kreinbrink is in this football game, so the option to get it downfield is there.
All right, pitch sweep around the right side. Rentz hit in the backfield, tried to break one through the
Another
straight
penalty
arm
flag.
But
number 11, Romeo Cordoba. He has been kind of their guy.
Yeah, he's made a couple nice plays.
He's almost spying Waylon Rentz.
Chop block, they're going to go ahead and call.
Not another one? Oh, my. Oh, no.
Oh, man, here we
Chop
go.
block.
Is that 15, too? Chop block?
I think it may be 15
Or
yards.
below the knees, whatever. Wow.
Liberty's penalties have just gotten in their way, and Napoleon really benefiting from Liberty Center's poor play.
Look at 2nd and 25 here.
Tiger Sports Live.
Well, now the clock just under 3 minutes isn't maybe the friend of Liberty Center now, because they have to play with field position to boot. They're looking at
I see him go to the air here, Spike, a couple times.
Probably 35 yards. All right, out of the gun. They're going to give it on kind of a sweep here, and not much going there. Napoleon throws to the ball. Moeller picks up half a dozen, but now it is 3rd down, and we'll call it 23.
On those wide plays, Brian, Napoleon is getting to the perimeter.
They are.
You know, I think we're getting good blocks on the inside, but look at their crowd and their players are very energized.
Yep.
You look a little dejected with all the penalties and some of the frustration up front. As you would say, Spike, it's a good moment to see if Liberty Center can get themselves going, because not very energized right now on this sideline. If we thought Napoleon was going to be afraid of Liberty Center, we got that answer very early.
That's true.
In this game. They have come to play, and they're doing a great job schematically against Liberty's run game.
You got a 3rd and 21 here. We'll see what happens. Maybe try to get half of this in the pass game, and then that'll give you an option to potentially run it on 4th down, or maybe you punt it and play field position. I don't know that you want to give Napoleon the ball back with 2 minutes here.
Well,
with that explosive offense.
Their big playability. I mean, that's, I don't want to be in a super tight game if I can help it, because they can score on any given play with their skilled players. Napoleon is loaded at the skilled position.
Kleinbrink under center. Single setback, motion Moeller right. Gives straight ahead. Rentz breaks one. Rentz pounds forward.
He fumbled it. Yep. Napoleon
You know, Waylon Rentz has struggled
and
tonight.
The ball turned over to Napoleon.
Waylon has been a little careless with the ball, not as high and tight. You've seen a little bit of the bobbling and the wobbling. And
Big hit. Jarred that thing loose.
Wow.
Big turnover, good field position here for Napoleon.
they are in striking distance and have a good kicker as well.
Yep.
Now, there's 2:28 left. Napoleon has used up all their timeouts, but the passing offense
That's right. Stops
may
clock.
not matter to them.
Here we go. All eyes on Trey Rubenstein.
The Tigers have done well, only breaking once from deep in their own territory, but now Napoleon with the ball around midfield. They've got trip receivers to the far side, one over here, straight drop, looks, lofts it out there, and
There's that
timing pattern.
There's that
he
timing
threw
pattern.
threw the ball before he was turned
Yeah,
around.
I'll tell you what, Spike, you almost cannot defend that play. Grady was right there, but man, oh man, throwing to a spot. That's the old Patrick Henry possession type offense, and man, that's a tough play to stop.
All right. Now ball on the 40, little snap, rolls out, lofts it out there, got a man, and pickup of about 9 on the play. That ball's going to be right spotted around the 30, and I think they've moved it for a first down Napoleon.
Espinoza just doesn't miss. I mean, he is on target. These throws are within
very
6-inch
accurate.
windows on every throw.
All right, out of the gun, another low snap. Finally has to pick it up, and Liberty
Big.
Center there to
That's big.
stop that in the tracks.
No
Loss of
timeouts
5
left.
on the play. Boy, that's one thing Napoleon's hurt with. They've had
there've been some bad snaps.
Troubles.
Well, we have decided to cover here,
Yeah.
not blitz.
Yeah.
So we're giving him plenty of time, and he's sitting back very comfortable against a 3-man rush.
Boy, and that's always hard to call. That's a
It is.
juggling act,
What do
a
you-
juggling decision by the coordinator.
Well, a lot of these balls are coming out so fast that the blitz may not even have time to get there on a lot of
Right.
these throws.
All right, second downs, 15 to go, back at the 34. Rolling right. Here comes Cifuentes, pressure,
There you go.
throws way out of bounds, incomplete.
Great job by
Sippy.
Logan Cifuentes.
Yep.
When you can get pressure from the inside, push the pocket,
Yep.
and really gets the quarterback unsettled. I like what the quarterback's doing in the pocket. I don't think he's nearly as good
Right.
on the run. I mean, he's excellent when he's sitting comfortable, but got to get Owen off of his spot.
All right, 107 left in this first half. Napoleon 7, Liberty Center 6.
It's a big down right here. Liberty's got 3 timeouts and big third down.
All right, double wide out to this side with the wing right set, single setback, straight drop.
It's like
Has
a whole,
time over the middle, caught
Good job.
right away down around
Blake
the
Garber.
25-yard line. That'll bring up fourth down. Napoleon needs about 5 yards to go to convert. Clock running at 52. Fourth down, and we'll call it about 6 to go. Now they're debating 25-17. It'd be a 42-yard field goal.
They might be looking to either go up top, quick fade to Rubenstein, or get
that
the
comeback.
quarterback draw to get him in field position, field goal position.
All right, a wide out to either side, out of the gun. Low snap, now
Come
has
back,
to
come
roll
back.
right.
There it
Tries to
is.
set it up, lobs it out there, and
Good boy,
incomplete. Excellent close by Grady Miller. And let's see, also number 14, Blake Garber.
Yep.
And knocked the ball away, so the Tiger defense manages to hold again.
Lonizak on some pressure there made the quarterback uncomfortable, made him kind of loft that thing up. He couldn't put anything on it.
That was Lonizak.
Lonizak on the pressure.
Boy, that was big. Scott just mentioned that a play before.
What a ball game so far here, fellas.
Wow. Well, Liberty has shot themselves in
They
the
have.
foot a bunch, giving Napoleon a lot of gifts.
Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but as the time ticks off, the score is 7-6. We had to score again to win the game, no matter what.
Yep.
So right now, hey, it's even Steven.
Brian, I think Napoleon has done a fantastic job scheming against our run, especially on the perimeter run, the sweep, the off-tackle powers. They've run those down. They've won a lot of battles in the trenches. I'm surprised to see that. And they've also done a great job of picking and choosing, blitzing from the secondary. This game, Spike, reminds me a little bit of that Otsego game a couple years ago in that 9-0 game that we played in Otsego, where they spent a lot of time blitzing corners, bringing safeties unaccounted for, and getting a lot of negative plays.
Second half is typically Liberty Center's ball game, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, let's see it. I mean, this is what this is all about. These are the kind of games that we learn from, that we grow from. 7-6, Napoleon.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors: KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's halftime performance of the 2024 Napoleon Wildcat Marching Band, led on the field tonight by drum major Avery Hayden. The Wildcat Marching Band performance will begin with a tune from the famous movie Top Gun, recorded in 1986 as Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. Next up is one of the most popular songs performed in 2009, made famous by Miley Cyrus. We conclude with a party of U.S. Arabs. Concluding our show this evening, the Wildcat Band will play a tune of concerts in many venues since 1969. Here's Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Drum major Avery Hayden. Is the band ready? The field is yours for your halftime presentation. visual instruction of evening lessons with assistance from Matthew Graham and Alan Knight. Special thanks also to the Napoleon Band boosters for all that they do, providing music and education to students. The Wildcat Band would like to thank Mr. Lynn.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Tiger Sports Live for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Tiger Sports Live is prohibited.
Have a great week.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Field of marching pride of Tiger Country. Varsity Center Tiger Marching Band. The band was loved this year by drum major Savannah Hernandez and Tonight, the band is continuing their season with the rerun of the show. It's really like this one. We open with a modern song that the RFP artists are. This is Uptown Park. Drum major Savannah Hernandez is your leader. Ladies and gentlemen, the Liberty Center Tiger Marching Band. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die.
All right, we're back here with the second half of Tiger football from Rex Lindgren Stadium, Kip Kern Field. The Napoleon Wildcats lead the Tigers 7-6. And Scott Jiggs, first half, going to be some blaring things going on.
Bit of a slugfest, Brian. I don't know that I expected it, but certainly right off the tips, you saw Napoleon matching Liberty's intensity, matching the hitting. Yep. And they have decided they are going to bring a lot of people from the secondary to support, what they're doing inside the box. Liberty Center, 22 rushing attempts for 138 yards, and Napoleon 4 rushing attempts for -5. So Liberty has done a really good job of keeping George Eggers in that running game neutralized. But Liberty's passing game, 1 for 5 for 8 yards, and I believe we have a pick. Is that true? We have a pick, right? We threw a pick. So passing game kind of non-existent for Liberty. For Napoleon, when we knew we were going to see this tonight from Espinoza, and he's done it. He's delivered tonight. Owen Espinoza, number 15. Tonight he is 9 of 15, 124 yards, and that big touchdown to Garrett Hall right down the middle of the field. And they are a big play offense, and Liberty better be on their toes in the second half. Total yards, Liberty Center, 146. They had that in the first 2 series against Tenora. Napoleon, 109. Liberty, 7 first downs. Napoleon, only 3, but here's the bugaboo. Liberty, 5 penalties for 64 yards. Napoleon, 1 for 5. They are not making mistakes. Waylon Rentz, been a little loose with the football, lost a fumble there. We did throw an interception for 1 turnover. We had 2 turnovers in that half. So the penalties and the turnovers, Brian, have roiled Liberty Center's offense. Liberty rushing leader, Waylon Rentz, 10 for 66. And Thomas Moeller, 7 for 53. And a lot of those came on dives and straight-ahead 0-1 traps. Talking to Rex Miller, he's saying, hey, man, how about some power keeps? They're not honoring any runs after that first initial read. They're really jumping at our powers and our dives. Ethan Gray, one reception for 8 yards. And for Napoleon, receiving leader Garrett Hall, 1 for 85. And Trey Rubenstein, 3 for 19. Liberty doing a tremendous job in coverage. You've got to be happy, Brian, with Grady Miller in that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, he has done a really nice job blanketing Rubenstein, eliminating the big plays all over him on some of these out routes and some of these comebacks. Really well done by Grady Miller. Let's see what happens with Liberty's defense here. You've kind of saw in the second part, maybe the second quarter, more zone coverage, less blitzing, letting Espinoza kind of sit in the pocket a little bit more. I don't know that that's the answer, but at the same time, you bring pressure, then you eliminate some of your underneath coverage.
Well, Owen Espinoza really comfortable, and he's comfortable in the pocket, Spike. He does a good job delivering a nice ball, but we've got pressure not as good when he gets off of his spot. So Liberty's pressure package, in my estimation, has been a little bit more effective when you sit back and you cover with 8. But listen, wipe the stats away. That first half is behind us. Liberty gets the kickoff, Spike. It's imperative we start off with an effective first drive.
Oh, yeah. Now, I want to ask you guys, if you were the coaches, you saw how Napoleon played against our run, their bread and butter against our bread and butter. What would you modify?
It's hard to break that down without watching a lot of film, but like Scott was saying, the 0-1 dives were very effective. It looked, when those linebackers were blitzing, it looked like they were blitzing probably the 3 and the 2 holes. So those right off center seems to be what was effective in that first half.
I would love to see a little bit more play action and maybe letting Grady keep the ball off a little fake in that power, because they're jumping all over Waylon Rentz off tackle.
He's capable.
I mean, I think that just a little bit of outside keep from the quarterback, and I think we've got to throw the football horizontally, spread that defense out, because they are packed in tight and doing a really good job against our power run so far. Give Napoleon credit. Not afraid. Ready to play. Wants to erase the last 7 years right here, Spike.
Right. It's all about adjustment, and here we go.
I like our coaching staff. I like our coaching staff out of halftime. I love this first drive. We're going to see what the adjustments are, to Spike's point.
We'll see if Brian Brink or Grady comes out here at the quarterback position, and what they do with that here in the second half as well.
Grady was warming up. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but just only a couple moments ago, he was getting some throws in.
I thought Grady had a couple nice opportunities, and, looking forward to seeing those again, because we had receivers that had a step or two. So,
last kickoff was a little pooch to the up man here. We had a good return.
Yeah, it was Wanazak, wasn't it, that had the return?
I think it was Bartels on that big return there.
Or Bartels, I'm sorry.
That return for Bartels was 17 yards, and Ethan Gray had a 14-yard average on punt return. So the special team spike pretty good.
Hey, the pit. The black hole is starting to darken up. It's time for Liberty Center. Here's the kick. Shorter end over end. That's going to come down, taken by the up back at the 10-yard line. He's got running room, returns, and takes on a hit. I believe that was Bartels, and pops his way all the way up to the 34-yard line.
Pretty good return again there by Jackson.
Senior, he's feeling it and getting his reps, and he's been hungry to play. He's getting a shot. So far, so good for number 17, Jackson Bartels.
In the first half, Liberty Center came out throwing. Now we'll see here if they don't settle back in and just try to get something established. I don't think they're going to try to win the game on this play. They just need to get refocused, reset. All right, wing right set to this way. They're going to run power sweep. Breaks one, still going, pounding forward and up to the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play for Liberty Center.
Start with a little pitch on the outside there.
Cam Colley checking into the game on offense. Tigers may look to open this up a little bit. He's wide out to the far side. Gary Cruz out there also in the slot. Miller under center. Give to the first back. Running room there. Kicks it and pounds it straight ahead all the way up to the 50-yard line. A gain of 13 on the play.
There's that dive again. So effective in that first half from the halfback position. Straight ahead, Thomas Muller. Good yardage.
Off the dive. We saw it several times. It's working for the most part. What do you play off of that?
Well, you can do a dive keep, right? So Grady can pull that thing down, head outside, or follow that running back as well.
All right, Rentz comes out. We've got a single setback. Wing package. He's going to keep it. Miller pounds his way forward, gets down inside the 50 to the 47. Gain of about 4 on the play. Positive yardage.
Power. Yeah, 16 power with Grady. I like that out of the shotgun.
He's a big body. He's one of our best athletes, if not our best, and he can run. So let's let that big body rumble a little bit. I like
Rentz it. Now checks in. He's behind Grady. Moeller offset to the right. Cruz wing left. They're going to power it again.
Jeez.
Here's Rentz driving forward.
Bobble.
He's going to pick up about 6 on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if that's running back exchange or what, but there's another bobble there off the exchange. Whalen had to hang on to that one there.
Watch number 11, Romeo Cordoba. He is like their designated spy run blitzer.
Yeah. Not a big body, but he's been active tonight.
Getting small in the hole, getting in the gaps, and making some negative plays.
Cam Colley checks in at wide receiver. He'll go far to the other side. Tigers with a double wing set. Single setback is Rentz, 3rd and 1. Motion this way. Give off to Rentz. Rentz powers forward, spins off a hit, and down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 3, and the Tigers get a first down.
This is standard Rex Linger issue. Matriculate and grind and wear you out up front. I like the game plan. Liberty is who they are. Yep. We aren't going in shotgun, Brian, and throwing it down the field.
Right.
Just not going to happen.
Well, and this is, let's run some clock here, limit some possessions as well. This is what a run game does for you right here.
All right, now Garber the wide out. Cruz in the slot. Rentz, they give it straight ahead to Moeller. Moeller will drive forward. He'll pop ahead for 4 more. 4 on the play, so 2nd and 6 coming.
This just looks like old school John Downey, robust tee, pound away 4 yards at a time, Brian. I mean, there's nothing tricky here. Hat on hat, get right into it.
I like it. I think there may have been some talking
Tigers,
on the locker room there at halftime and got some attention to that offensive line running back room.
Now Colley sets up wide to this side, over here the right side. Moeller on the left, Rentz on the right in the backfield. Long count. Give to Rentz straight ahead. Rentz pops through one, kicks out another, heads for the outside, breaks a tackle over the top at the 10.
Yeah,
into the end zone.
Yes, sir. It's like he stepped out.
It's a the Liberty
I think they got him
Come
stepped out.
from behind, touchdown.
Yeah, they got him stepping out.
Got to get him at the 13. But
Oh, no.
Waylon Rentz.
What?
No
No way.
Punishment.
I watched that. He was 4 yards inbounds.
man, oh man,
Well, maybe not.
I don't know if he was 4 in, but he was
He was-
belting
yeah,
some
he was-
people on the way to the end zone.
Wow.
Waylon punishment at the
Wow.
line.
Both him and Moeller have great secondary moves. Oh.
Waylon Rentz is just an absolute Clydesdale boy. Wow.
All right, 1st and 10 now at the Napoleon 13. 2 wideouts. They're going to power off the right side. Great penetration from Napoleon's number 11,
Yep.
Cordoba. You mentioned him before.
He's making a lot of plays.
I'm telling you, he's the guy, undersized. He's sneaking, looking at the formation, hitting the gap, making plays. That's about his 4th negative play of the night. That's his job. He's supposed to sneak in the 0-1 and find the ball.
Yep.
All right. 2nd down and 10. The ball back now at the 14-yard line. We'll see how Liberty Center interchanges, exchanges, and botulates here. They're going to send 2 wideouts to the far side. That's Colley and Cruz. Moeller on the left, Rentz on the right. They're going to give the Moeller straight ahead. Pounces off 1 tackle. Pounds his way down inside the 10-yard line, down around the 8.
Got to get to the 3 for a first down. We need a touchdown here.
All right, they're going to spot it around the 9. So 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 to go. Checking into the game is Blake Garber, number 14.
Big call right here.
He'll go wide to the right side. They got Walker and Goose on the right. Spangler at center. Now the give. There comes Rentz into the 5, to the 4, the 3, the 2. And he's down at the 1-yard line. So a gain of about 9 on the play, and the Tigers are knocking on that end zone door, and they're pounding hard.
This was all about turn the clock back
Yes.
to Rex Linger and just get it done. Slobber knock right in your face, vertical running game. Number 19, welcome, how do you do, drive for Liberty Center.
All right. Rentz on the left, Moeller on the right with the 2 tight ends, 2 wing-back set. Power straight ahead into the end zone. It is. Wait a minute, looking for the signal. It is. It's a Liberty Center Tiger
There we go.
touchdown.
There we go.
Yes. Boom. Oh, yeah.
Boy, that was needed, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you want to talk about necessary.
Yep.
Liberty answers the bell, and that's old Nick Miller, Todd Spangler, and Brad Howe on the give our guys the ball. Let's get up the field. Great job by Liberty, the offensive line. Great job by Casey calling plays.
Here's the kick. It is up. It is good. Hitzenreiter, the
Big drive.
snapper. Kreinbrink, the holder. And Ian knocks it through. Ian Rosebrough.
Big drive. We're going to replay that run there by Waylon Rentz on the almost touchdown. Watch him at the goal line here, put his head down and say, no. Oh, my.
Now, let's ask ourselves. We're up by 5. We take the 1 point. Everybody out there.
Wait, we're up by what? Oh, 5, 12, and 7.
When we scored.
We take the 1 point PAT. Now, could we have gone for 2? Yeah, maybe. But you don't want to throw away points this early.
That's right.
In the 3rd quarter. If this gets down to a kind of a shootout, that may be big by taking the 1. I think it was a good move.
And remember, Defiance missed the extra point last week. That would have won them the game late in that ball game against this Napoleon squad. So take the points this early.
Well, let's see how Napoleon responds here in their special teams. Max Walker has been a delight on kickoffs. Be anxious to see how we cover this, Spike. This is a big-time play right here for our special teams.
Yep. Blake Garber and number 22, Caden Sonnenberg, our outside people. Noah Hammontree next inside. Then number 26, Roar.
This will be returned.
Got a chance.
And it's going to come down at about the 13-yard line. Return to the right.
Great
Tigers
coverage.
there do a good job to close the lanes off. Return of only 7 yards.
What do we
we've
got?
got a late flag.
For what?
Oh, no.
Tyler Rohr's on a great tackle there. Rubenstein's cramping. He did that last week as well. It's a little bit early for that.
Oh, my. Now let's wait to see what happens.
Was that against Tyler Roars?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. That was
okay.
I think Tyler and Baxter Barrett got there and got him down. Those guys.
Baxter's underneath, buddy.
Yes, he was, but both guys got there at the point of attack.
Well, Rubenstein cramped last week, and he missed a big share of the fourth quarter, obviously going both ways. That is a big factor if he is not in the offense.
Oh,
big factor.
Huge. Did we decide what the penalty call was?
It was against Napoleon. I'll take it.
Right.
Put him
Looks
inside
like
the 10.
a 15-yarder here.
Wow,
Yeah,
that'll be
they're marching
half
15
the
here.
distance, so it should take them down around the 10-yard line. Boy,
You didn't get any better than that. You get the ball, you just ram it down their throat, and then you cover the kick. They get frustrated, and here we go. They're inside the 10. I like it. I like it.
And I'm sure that pass defense was talked about as well, the coverages.
Mm-hmm. Be aware. Napoleon can go get some points in a hurry. Here we go, Liberty Center defense.
All right, the Wildcats show a wide out to either side with a man in the slot over on the far side, out of the gun. Now they're going to give it off that right side, breaks through one tackle, and I believe that's Rubenstein that pounds his way. Nope, number 6. Excuse me, that was Eggers.
You know, it was
forward for about 6-7 yards on the play.
Interesting last week, Spike, when Rubenstein didn't go down in the fourth quarter. They leaned heavily on the run game last week against Defiance and had some success. So we'll see if they do it again here tonight. Lean on that run game while Rubenstein's on the sidelines.
That was a little out of character for the Tigers' run defense. We'll see what we got here. Second down and a long 3 yards out of the gun. Motion back to the ball. They're going to roll.
There you go. That's a big hit.
Who was that?
Who was that masked man?
That's Max Walker.
Big hit.
Mad Max
There
Walker.
we go. We got a flag, too.
Woo.
What do we got on the flag? Shot block. There we go.
All right.
Big hit. Max Walker filling the gap. Playing the wood.
Gigantic Liberty Center crowd getting into that and making some noise. That's what this is all about.
It's like the flip of two halves here. Napoleon with 2 costly penalties here so far in the second half.
Hey, you know, and it's the second game of the season. Those things are going to happen.
Yep.
It's a matter of who can play through it, play over it, play beyond it. Right now, Liberty Center answered that proverbial bell. All right, so second down and 12 officially for Napoleon. Ball back on their own 8-yard line. Now they hand off, trying to find
There we
not
go.
much there, and stopped at the 10-yard line. That's the Tiger swarming defense.
Blake Garber, Stephen Brogan, amongst a few others on that tackle.
Napoleon trying to put together a semblance of a running game here, just determined.
I think when Rubenstein goes out on that outside, they just do not have the same confidence in their pass game without him as a threat on the outside. And that's what you're seeing, although he's back in there now.
This is a must-have for Napoleon at 13-7.
What we got here?
All right, well.
What are they waiting on?
So now the Wildcats break the huddle. Out of the gun, rolling right. Has time, now has to he's flushed out of the pocket. Scrambles, has to dump it out there, and nobody in the vicinity. Max Walker and Cam Colley were the closest shirts to the ball. Who cut the pressure?
I'm not sure. It was great coverage in the back end. Then we had pressure, and Spangler was able to hold off, didn't get a stupid late hit there.
Owen Espinoza in the pocket looks like Tom Brady. Owen Espinoza out of the pocket looks like Tim Bronheim. I mean, out of the pocket going to your left. He just doesn't look. You get If you get Owen Espinoza, Brian, off of his spot,
yes,
he is
different
completely different player.
All right, 4th and 10. The Tiger return people at the 50. Short punt. That's going to be taken at the 43. Old Crew up the right side. Now spins off that. Still going.
Great return, JT.
Inside the 30-yard line.
Great
15
job.
yards return. Great job.
You know, JT, that was a short punt there. He's able to come up and field that thing, which is not easy to do, and bring that thing back probably another 15 yards.
Great
Old Crew
return.
got yards after the hit.
Yep.
Liberty's been good at that
so
far in this early
another
season.
flag here, Spike.
Uh-oh.
Could be a little extra added juice on the sideline here.
It's
on the other side of the field.
They're going to call the line of scrimmage the 27, but boy, they're looking toward that metal building end zone. This does not look good for the Wildcats.
I think there was some extra tight curricular throw, slam, frustration.
Man, that would be 3 huge penalties for them.
Oh, against Liberty.
Oh, no, face mask.
Oh, face mask against the Tigers. Well, we've got the lead and we've got the football in Napoleon territory nevertheless.
That would be a
Looks like Liberty's going to set up shop at the Napoleon 32-yard line. Garber spread out wide to the far side. Tigers with double wing package. Rents a single setback. Tight end right. Now motion coming this way. Give to the motion man.
There you go.
Gary.
There
Gary
you go.
breaks one tackle. Still going.
There you go.
Finds 2-3 players. Still going.
Look at that run.
What a wheelhouse.
That guy's fresh.
What a
That guy's fresh.
banger. Down to the 15-yard line. A gain of 17 yards and a Tiger first
See that
down.
one again here.
Well, Hunter Spangler drives his center to the ground. Great point of attack blocking, and then Gary just get on the bus, Napoleon. Free ride. The rides are free this week for Napoleon.
Boy, the balance, the agility and mobility of Gary after he was hit to continue running with aplomb.
Liberty starting to take control exactly as we thought of the line of scrimmage, Brian.
All right, double wing set. Rents the single setback. Motion, heading to the wide side. They're going to give it to Moeller. Hit right away. Moeller will pick up a couple tough yards into the teeth of the defense. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play, a short 3.
Just continues to wear you down with this run game.
Now, Garber, brings the play in from the sideline. We've got Kreinbrink, the center. Garber will spread out wide to the far side. Jack Bartell's out there in the slot on the far left. Double setback, Rents on the right, Moeller on the left. Give to Rents straight ahead power. He's hit at the 13, and he'll pop forward for maybe a couple. Let's wait for the spot here. Not a lot on that play. Maybe a yard, and that's it.
George Eggers with another nice tackle there. Point's got some really nice players at linebacker position.
Well, they answered the question on whether they can play physical. Because
Yeah,
last
that's
week
right.
you doubted it. Defiance really put it in their face. Tonight they are playing physical, good football.
All right, Tigers with a 3rd and 7 now. The ball at the 12-yard line of the Wildcats. Tigers set 2 wideouts to the far side. Moeller on the left, Rents on the right. They're going to give it to Moeller straight ahead. Pops through, hits into 5, and spins his way down, and that's very close to a Tiger first down.
They really have not had an answer for that dive play in this second half. It's just been gashing them.
Boy, that is 1938 football,
Just
buddy.
right up the
You
middle.
saw-
Quick hitter.
That's Kip Kern football.
You saw the adjustment Liberty made, and the adjustment was nothing. It was called get your head out and get it strapped on is what it was.
I like that answer. All right, Tigers with the ball. 1st and goal at the 5. Give to the second back. Here's Moeller pounding
good
forward.
run.
He's down to about
it's
the
close.
2-yard line. Moeller on that right side behind Walker and Giesecke. Siffy doing a lot of interchanging plays. Yep, Giesecke and Walker on that right side. The wingback over there. Wanazak, I believe. All right, single setback. Rents, he'll take the ball off the 2 down to the 1. And it's close.
Nope.
Nope,
Oh,
they
my.
did not put him in the end zone. He's down inside
that
the
sure
one,
looked like
down
he's in.
around the 1 foot line.
They definitely are not giving them anything on the touchdowns tonight. Boy, that looked like he was in. 3rd and 1, here we go.
All right, 3rd and goal. 2:02 in the clock running.
Yep.
3rd and goal at the 1 yard line. Grandma Jean Kern, here we go. It's time for the Tigers to shine.
Let that clock run. I don't think this disappoints Casey at all.
Try and break
Rents
up the
the
middle
single
here.
setback. Now they put Muller in motion. Give the Rents.
He fumbled it.
No, he fumbled.
Yep.
Ball still loose. Liberty picks it up. That's Kreinbrink.
And Waylon Rents is having a difficult
wiggles
time.
his way down to about
Yeah,
the
the quarterback.
3.
Is that a
Running back
quarterback?
exchange.
Is that
I'm
an
not sure.
exchange?
He's
Man,
not
oh,
comfortable
man.
with any of it right now.
All right, now
Wow.
we're going to see what I would think might be a 3-point attempt coming on here.
That might have saved the game for Napoleon
That is-
right there.
that
That was
is-
going to be
That's tough.
too much of the bobble with Waylon tonight. A lot of mishandled balls, snaps. Not
All
snaps,
right,
but
here's Ian Rosebrock.
quarterback to the ball,
Good
the running
snap,
back.
good hold. The kick's
kick,
on
Ian.
the way. It's good!
You know, that
A critical 3-point conversion field goal there. And now the Tigers lead by 9, 16-7.
That's 2 straight drives where they basically took Napoleon right by the collar and
Yes.
pushed him around.
Yes.
But Napoleon did a great job of hanging
They
in
did.
there
They did.
in a couple snaps to give him a chance to maybe for Liberty to turn over Spike, and that's exactly – they didn't turn it over, but, man, they lost a bunch of yards, and Casey did the right thing by kicking the field goal.
Right. And now you couple that with the extra point kick.
Yes.
We only went up by 6. Now we're up by 9. We're up by that proverbial 2-score difference.
Well, we are up 2 scores, and I like what we've done with the line of scrimmage. You got to give credit to the coaching staff. And certainly Matt Bryan got us turned around, too, on defense, where Napoleon was kind of winning some snaps. They have not won a snap yet in the second half. Very good job by the coaching staff.
All right. Walker, who had reached the end zone twice last time kickoff went to the 13. We'll see now if there's any adjustments to be made. Sonnenberg, one of the wides. Here's the kick. High end over end. That's going to come down at the 9.
Look at
Return
this
right
coverage.
side. Tigers close on that.
Great job.
Nobody there for blocking in the Liberty Center. Tigers swarm and surround him and drive him down inside the 20-yard line.
You know, when they've had a chance to return it, Brian, Liberty's coverage teams have answered the bell.
They have.
Stayed disciplined in their lanes. Brian Hefflinger's got them coached right. Take away some early penalties, and the special teams have been great.
And that has been a small, I wouldn't say nemesis, but it's been a weak point in the last
Yes, and
2
no
or 3 years.
no penalties here so far in the second half.
Yes.
They have cleaned it up.
All right, on the defensive line, number 69, we've got Kyler Kern out there.
Nick Miller using his guys, using that depth, Brian, this hot night.
Caden Sonnenberg out there as a DB. All right, out of the gun. They mess it up. Now forced to roll out.
Oh,
Tigers are
my.
gonna close
Grady.
on that. And maybe a yard on the play, and that's it. What a swarm by the Tiger D.
Wow, Grady had a receiver try to come and block him there and absolutely destroyed him on the way to try to make the tackle. That was a collision right there.
Cam Colley in there
Whoa.
on defense. So the Tigers keep moving people in and out all around. Napoleon picks up maybe 2 on the play.
Looked like a
Second
broken
and
play
8.
there, didn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
they was.
I don't
they
think
wanted to
that
keep
was
there
by
with
design
Espinoza.
at all. All right, single setback out of the gun. They're going to hand it off that right side. That ain't nothing going there.
Who's that
Going
underneath
nowhere.
there?
Yes,
Baxter Barrett.
Macarino.
Great play. Him and Gary have a meeting at the football there.
Couple sophomores
Yeah,
and dynamic
yeah,
players
yeah.
on defense.
Yep.
Baxter had a great game last week with 6 tackles, but really good job there defensively,
Yep.
linebacker.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsor.
Right, what a Donnybrook of a game this has been. It's been Liberty Center playing error-free. In that third quarter, they lead 16.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors, KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them. They support us, so please support them.
Now, looking at linebackers, we've seen an influx. We've seen the younger guys in there. Now, are they trying to rest Waylon Rents?
I think so. I think it's a little bit of everything. Reston, Waylon Rents, and I think those young guys
Good play. They're playing.
have played well, and why not? I mean, Waylon's been a horse this second half, and I love watching the young players play, and you saw a tremendous play early by Max Walker, who came in for Baxter when he made a mistake on a pursuit angle play.
Yeah.
Eric is on every inch of your play. Eric Weimer, one of the top 10 players in the history of this game in Liberty Center, knows what he's looking at, and then you got Brian Hefflinger, another all-timer. You got two all-timers as your linebacker coaches
in the film room.
And I think that's a great job by Max Walker. Liberty's got good depth at linebacker. Might be their best and deepest room in the football team.
Where do your boys get that? You know, I don't think you played football. You didn't even go out.
No, I was a badminton player. I did that, and I was really good at bocce ball.
All-time top 10. You were one of the mean boys.
I was always told the between you, Keller, and who was the other third one with you, that the three of you may have been the greatest pairing of all time.
Well, that group was pretty good, and Tim Keller was a wonderful player.
Out of the gun, has to lob it over the top, caught out there on the run, and tackled short
first down
of the 28-yard line where they needed to go for the first down.
Garrett Hall with some timely catches tonight. Another nice catch there for him. He had the touchdown earlier. I don't know if they're going to give him. Is this going to be fourth down?
Fourth down, they're going for it.
Yeah, he was a yard short. That's going to make it 4th down and 1. Napoleon trailing 16-7. I don't believe they can afford to lose the football, to give it up. Zeiter in there on defense is more or less a defensive end. 4-man front. Tigers created 9 people up in the box on this short yardage
they're trying to draw us off with the snap. Not going to work. Yeah. Delay of game. They will punt the football. Liberty Center's defense, Matt Bryan, and these coaches really got these guys ready to play the second half, Spike. It's been a very clean, well done, well coached second half.
Surprised the point took a timeout there with obviously being down here.
If it takes a learning curve to get the end result, that's what we get. Yeah. What a great crowd here tonight, lining the field.
Yeah, there is.
Several deep, almost all the way around. 11:53, 16-7, Liberty Center.
Guys, you talk about the crowd here. We've got 3,000 plus people online and probably 4,000 people in the stadium. You want to talk about a big game, folks.
Like that.
Yeah, right. We see Lonazak out there as a linebacker.
Another good sophomore, top-end player.
Oh, they will go for it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them. At their own 27-yard line, they need a yard. They're going to run.
He did it! No, he didn't
get it! He got submarined! He got nosedive! He got shoved back 2 yards.
Garrison Cruz.
Take over at the 25-yard line.
Garrison Cruz.
Let's see that one again.
Wow,
Garrison Cruz. I think it was 30. Let's watch Garrison.
He's on the end here, left end.
See if he gets inside. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
What a play. Big stop there. That's a linebacker. You put his hands in the dirt, be able to make a play like that. Wow.
Did Boom Boom just produce the replay of the night? That might have put Liberty in control of this game. But big-time players make big-time plays, and Garrison Cruz is a big-time football player.
All right, Liberty Center leads by 9. They're going to want the whole banana here. They got a double wide out to this side, under center. Handoff straight up the middle. Neats head-to-head down to the 20-yard line. Pick up a tough 5.
Same dive play. I feel like I'm just repeating that over and over.
I love repetition.
They've run that at least 10 times here in the second half. But it's been effective.
Hammondtree comes out. Tigers shift with Colley now, spread out wide to the far side. Cruz over there in the slot. Tight end to the left. Wing back left. There's a no.
They're wide open. He's wide open. Oh my goodness!
Back to throw. Now fires. It's up there and got back in time.
Wow. He had Lonizak open for about 15 yards, and
I don't think he saw him.
I don't know how you don't see him. He's rolling left. He's the primary receiver. I mean,
I don't think he saw him.
Man, oh man! I mean, he was wide open from about the 10-yard line into the end zone. That was a tough one there. I thought that was the game winner right there.
Learning curve.
Yes.
It happens once. You learn from it. Now that's in the repertoire. It's in the book.
Well, you had him. You had their noses sneak it in.
That's what that play action does right there.
And there it was. That was going to be the ball game right there.
All right, Hammondtree now into the game. Tight end on the left side. Wide out to either side. Give to the second back. Tries to kick it outside. Takes him on. Rents pits off a move. Still going and twisting and pounding.
Oh, man.
Down to the 12-yard line. And it's a Tiger first down.
Just a tough
man, you know, that's just like watching an alligator do the death roll. I mean, you put your hand, I mean, he just starts hammering and rolling and ripping and tearing. Man, oh, man, that is some angry. He runs angry.
He can ballerina it, but boy, that time that was ugly.
That might have been the big dog move of the night. He has just run angry like razor blades here in the second half. My goodness.
Double wide out to this Tiger side of the field. Out of the I formation in the backfield. Crimebrink under center, gives to the second back. That's Moeller. Moeller pops and pounds inside the 10, down to the 8 to pick up a 5 yards.
I'm telling you, I remember these half times with Rex. He'd get to the dry eraser board and drew up nothing. Just challenged these guys to man up, and they've arrived. I mean, this offensive line is really getting some great work done. And Napoleon, hands on hips. Liberty is in control of the line of scrimmage.
Tight end right, out of the eye again. Give to the first back, Rents. Drapes over one, bleeps over another, pounds over the top of a third and down to about the 2. Pickup of about 6 on the play.
Brian, when you turn the film on and you're an opposing coach and you watch 19, what are you telling your linebackers? And
you better just bring the team.
Because, I mean, he is just.
Bring the team because that guy will not go down on first contact.
Wow. Yards after contact.
Tough running.
Nasty. Delivering pain. Ooh.
All right,
Waylon
now
Rents.
Liberty center. Single setback. Double wide out to the wide side. Wing left. Now motion coming this way. Give to the motion man. That's going to be Cruz into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown! Oh, baby. They don't do it the same way twice in a row. They've got a whole playbook full of chicanery. Tigers go up 22-7.
Yeah, the run game just taking its toll here in the second half. Liberty Center imposing their will on the line play, completely dominating the line of scrimmage. And we kind of had a feeling this was going to happen.
But Napoleon stood up in that first half. They stood
did.
right in our face.
Uh-oh, Tigers now going to try to go for 2 here. It's going to be Miller under center with a wide out to either side. They're going to it's Miller on a keeper. Heads for the corner. He's into the end zone. Converts the 2-pointer. He sent 2 running backs in front and tucked it under and sprinted for the end zone. 24-7.
Let's watch this play. See if there's any fake here, and this ends up being a keep, or is this a straight power? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's a touchdown. There's not a lot of white bodies in his way.
No. There's a wall in front of him.
This is just straight up Liberty Center power ball now, and not a lot of creativity.
No.
This was not a creative second half.
No.
This was just straight up
power
ball.
Yeah, it looked like a 27.
A 17 sweep, or was it a keep?
Oh, you're talking on Grady's.
On Grady's.
Yeah, it was like a 17 keep. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Well, they're diving, Spike, when those linebackers and those safeties are diving inside of the 0-1, 2-3 holes.
Yep.
That's 6-7 wide open. Rex Miller.
There's a weapon that put their back in the
Put that on film.
Yep.
Put that on film. Rex Miller's up there running the huddle camera going, Will you please just run a keep, man?
Yeah.
That was for Rex
Coming
Miller.
from a quarterback.
All right, Liberty Center trailed in the second quarter, 7-6. Things weren't going right. We were stepping on our tails. Everything just felt pretty whopper-jawed, and now the Tigers have taken control at 24-7. Long, high kickoff taken there at the 7. Return straight ahead.
Tyler
Tigers
roars.
filled the lanes again. What a job. Had to slow down at the end. The Tigers had that hemmed in from way back. And once again, they stop them inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
Tyler Roars
Brian
is making
Hefflinger.
a lot of plays tonight. I think that's his third tackle on a kickoff.
Brian
Great job.
Hefflinger has got these guys, and these are a lot of young guys, sophomores and juniors that aren't first-team players. And Brian Hefflinger, hats off to special teams tonight. Those coverages have been outstanding.
What a great game for the Tigers to gain experience at all levels, in every aspect of this. This will hold good for them for a long time. Tigers with a 5 linebacker type set here. Drops back to throw over the middle. And can't come up with it. Moeller made sure that he went over the top as he dived across on that incomplete pass.
That looked like that
Same
was the
play.
that they hit on earlier.
Garrett
on their
Hall,
touchdown.
tight end down the middle, right down the seam, but
Thomas all over that one.
all over that. That looked like a little alligator arm to me. I'm
well.
just not sure I want to extend there. That looked like that could have been a punishing hit. Good job by Liberty's coverage. Matt Bryan has tightened this defense up.
Yep.
And suffocated Napoleon much of the second half.
Just over 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Out of the gun, Tigers show blitz. Now has to roll to his right. Stop, sets up.
Ooh.
It's a wounded duck, and who got a block on that?
Cifuentes.
What a game he's played.
That guy's been in the backfield, hasn't he, tonight?
Got that big paw up there and broke up that
Logan
play.
Cifuentes starting to make his move on the post-game awards.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, guys, I got a funny. We have a group of Liberty Center people at the Sylvania Southview or Northview game. Southview. Because of some family obligation, they're sitting around a phone and a tablet watching our game. You can take the person out of Liberty Center, but you can't take the Liberty Center out of the people.
Now
right.
Rubenstein picks up double coverage out here. Low spnap. They're going to run a quick pitch to the outside and slip through one, but a good ankle tackle to come back. Let's see. That was Spangler, I believe, getting out there and making a play. Wow. Yeah. Spangy showing a little bit of movement. Flag down on the initial signals against the Wildcats.
Hey, a couple scores. Delta leads Fairview 28-14 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And in the fourth quarter, St. Henry 42, the Archibald Blue Streaks 14.
Hey, by the way, that's a Delta beating Fairview. That's Mike Vickers' third trip to Delta. That guy identifies talent, and he can find it. Genoa, Montpelier, Swanton, Delta, Clay. He has been everywhere. He finds that talent, follows it, and that Delta Panther team will be 2-0. Mike Vickers back in the league for the third trip.
Bellevue over Wauseon 13-7, end of 3.
And they picked Wauseon maybe to come back. Rebound from last week. All right.
Hicksville over Swanton 16-6, fourth quarter.
All right, rolling out, and they're going to punt it. Liberty Center controlled that, didn't give up the fake. Now kicks it out to the right. Here's
Cam Colley.
And he'll return it for 10 yards up to across midfield. Colley with another effective return. The Tiger return people have looked great tonight.
Special teams has been outstanding. Just one other observation. Last week, I think Fairview really took it to Wauseon.
Yeah.
And for Delta, they took it to Ayersville in a big way, and that Delta team might be a little sneaker. Okay, Ayersville team might be struggling.
What was the Archibald score? 42-7 they're down, St. Henry? Wow.
All right, so the Tigers come out. They show now they're going to shift over. Hammondtree now the tight end on the left with Cruz in the slot. Kleinbrink gives off, first back through, hit them head on.
Oh, Gary just throwing bodies around. Yikes.
Jeez.
Cal Bickle just took a ride, number 30. Garrison Cruz. Great block.
Garrison Cruz
guys just keep playing,
reared
too.
his ugly head in several different places tonight.
He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
He shows up whenever you need a big play.
Yes.
He's got a lot to prove, though. Trenton, Colton, two of the all-time nasties.
All right, Tigers show a tight formation, but they line out there now, a little double shift.
Can't do
and somebody messed up.
Both thing dead.
Go and play, breaks one, kicks it outside. Mulder puts on another move, and he'll bang down to the 24, but the play, I think, was blown dead.
The fans were not cheering because they knew the penalty was on us. 2 guys in motion, legal procedure.
Just like watching the Canadian Football League.
Or the Arena League where they get the jump start.
Run your
running
scrimmage.
start.
All right, so 7:44 left in the ball game. Liberty Center rallies here for a strong second half. They lead it 24-7 over Napoleon. Garber spread out wide to the far side. Tigers with the wing package offset to the right. Single setback. Now Moeller motion. They'll give it to Rent straight ahead. Rent splits off one. Pounds into 2 tacklers. He'll go grind ahead for 5 yards. And the Tigers now looking at third coming up.
Third and, what do you got here? 3rd and 7.
That time behind Brogan and Weimer.
Waylon Rentz just continuing to carry the load here.
Single setback. Now Moeller in motion. They'll pitch to Moeller going around the right side. Moeller siphons his way through, twists through one, pounds onto another tackler, pick up a 7 yards, and the Tigers close to moving the chains. They are going to say he's about a half a yard short here.
Boy, it looked like he had it there. Thomas had a nice night running the football with those
Big
dive
runs.
plays, really seeing the field nicely, running hard. He's not the biggest stature guy, but he runs hard.
And he sees the holes. He's a great cutter, great feet, great vision.
Lonazak now into the game. Cruz lines up at the wing left set, tight end left.
There we
Straight
go.
ahead,
There we
power
go.
and banging his
I
way
like that.
forward. That's going to be more than enough for a Tiger first down on 4th and a foot.
The clock now becomes our friend.
That's right.
Tick, 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 tick. 6:18 to go and Liberty in control. What a good game by Napoleon, though.
Yeah, they really did.
That first half was as good as it gets for the Wildcats.
They're going to win a lot of games this year.
This is going to be the year they're going to put up 7, 8, 9 wins.
Yep.
It looks like they could win that division in the NLL or whatever that league is called now, the old NLL.
All right, tight formation with a couple of wideouts, and that play blown dead on the snap. Somebody moved up there. Clock at 5:55.
Definitely some things to work on in the film room as well, and some of these penalties that the coaches will, I'm sure, have fun with in the morning.
Yeah, a lot of
not
film.
Not the cleanest game from
first half slop fest, penalties, fumbles, not securing the football, not hitting wide open receivers, just a lot of things in week 2. And this Napoleon team was game tonight. Really played better than I expected up front. They challenged us, and they won a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage tonight in that first half.
All right, double wide out, now give straight ahead. And Liberty continues to just pound that offensive line, pound the defense with that offensive line. That's Moeller rushing for about 3.
These corners, some of these corners and safeties are just getting tired of getting blocked down the field. You see these guards and these tight ends just finishing their blocks. They're like, just get off.
You know, Liberty blocks downfield as well as any team I've ever seen at the high school level.
They do.
They get to 2nd, 3rd, 4th level blocks.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, 2nd down and 12 now after the short run. Now rolling out, Kreinbrink to his opposite side. Left hand gets it squared around there. What a catch over there on the sideline.
Catch by Blake there.
Wow.
You know, that's a simple. Garber.
Garber, yeah, Blake Garber. Nice catch on the sideline. That moves the down marker The stick down to the 27-yard line.
Nice little out route there.
Hey, a quick shout out to Kolbitz, Germany. Hope you're enjoying American football with number 24, Martin Moeller. Gunnar and Utah, if I pronounce those even somewhere close. All right. Yep, play blown dead again. Liberty Center called a timeout. Hey, right now, this is still important time. This is still time to learn, to gain experience, knowledge, and so the Tigers aren't pulling out any stops here.
In two, Spike, it's an opportunity for these 1s and 2s to play a full game, because I think we're going to be a lot of games in the league this year may not be the case where you're going to get a lot of running clock in the second half. So this lets Liberty put a full game together on tape, on film for these coaches to look at and get these players up to speed on what that feels like to play a full game. We got a group of guys up in the UP doing some pike fishing as well. Andrew Hill, Andy Spees, Brett Rhoda. They're tuned in up in the UP doing some fishing for the weekend.
All right.
Well, and we've got our fans over in Cobalt, Germany. Check that out. Isn't that cool?
That's
at
cool.
1 a.m. the game
Just
started, and they're over there partying, drinking that
neat.
black dark beer.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Say, woo.
I think Jeannie Meter today retires from Civista Bank.
Wow.
My favorite bank teller. Going to miss her.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on a great career.
All right, Tigers shift over. Now they go with the wing back left set, under center.
Got it wide open again.
He didn't miss him this time.
Out there.
Oh, my goodness.
He put a dime on him.
Oh, man.
He didn't miss that one.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
last hand was stuck in the air, and it just broke the vision line, sight line. Threw a nice football, but Napoleon defended that maybe accidentally.
Wow. Well, Lonazak's going to want that one back. That one stinks.
Touchdowns against Napoleon are precious, but you're right, Spike. I think it may have been a little last-minute glitch in the eye.
Yeah.
Defense by accident. I like that.
All right, Tigers line up. Crime Brink under center. They're going to go the power sweep. A lot of running room there.
Big
play. There's Rents out to the outside. Down to the 5, the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, baby.
Center. Tiger
there
touchdown.
We go.
That's the stamp of approval. Kip Cardinal say, hit Liberty, hit. And boy, they hit hard there.
Mark Blah is telling me there's some block to watch on this replay. Let's watch the right side and see where this block came. Let's
Might
watch
have been
down
Noah
the
Hammondtree
field.
or Goose. Hammondtree.
Oh, Noah Hammondtree. Good block there. Yeah, Noah.
He hit him on skates.
Great job on Noah Hammondtree.
Here's the snap. Good snap. Hold is good. Kick is up and good. 31-7. This second half has been entirely, ultimately, and positively off Liberty Center.
You know, I remember some times, I'm sure Brian does, in a Rex Lindgren locker room. I can remember a couple games at Evergreen where Evergreen was ahead or close, and he just lit the offensive line up and challenged every guy in that locker room. Carl Carter, some old school guys, and I'm telling you, it works because it is execution. And you work all week long at blocking and tackling and assignments. Just like you said, Spike, you're at practice. Nick Miller, Todd Spangler, Brad Howe, they're just working all the time. And that first half, nothing was working. Well, they didn't do anything different in the second half.
No, that was it. We tried to outfigure them, and nothing changed.
Second half, it's just been offensive line, strap it on, getting after it. Great job by Liberty Center, Casey Moeller, the offensive line coaches, all three of them, just execution-based football in the second half.
Yeah, it's kind of like throwing it out, setting the bait, let it hang, let it look like he's going to start biting, and then really miss.
Liberty, I just think they just won the battle of the will in the second half. That first drive, Spike,
Yes.
And that's,
oh, man.
That's what happens so many times with this program over the years is just that.
Stealing your will.
You get taught that in practice. It's the 400s. It's the hundreds. It's the rep after rep after rep. And this is what Liberty Center is based on.
No, Spike,
here.
Rex would talk to you and say, listen, nobody works harder. Don't let them take what you
That's
have.
right.
Don't let them. Liberty did not let Napoleon take what they wanted tonight. Good answer in the second half.
All right, so Walker set to kick off from the 40-yard line. His approach. And line drive, that's going to come down at the 15-yard line.
Ooh.
Look.
Oh, yeah, Baxter.
Kicks it outside.
There you go.
And I believe that was Baxter Barrett with another big play on special teams.
I like that by Baxter. He destroys the blocker in front of him and then puts his head right where it counts.
This kickoff team starting to have the race to the football mentality again.
That
like
was
they did last year.
Great
starting to see
hit
it again
by Baxter and Trey Rubenstein. Quite frankly, I expected to see him featured, and Liberty just erased him. Some early plays by Grady Miller.
Yeah.
Got the dry eraser board out, and
Grady
number 3 disappeared tonight.
Grady had a big night.
Yeah, and that might be another guy that's going to be fighting for some Kent Bulldog Bad Boy Spiece Awards, the Bulldog Award.
The thing about a shutdown corner is you don't notice him, right? You never notice him. Yeah. So you're really like, what happened to that guy? Well, the shutdown corner was on and nothing happened. So Grady had a big night.
Great point. Wow.
We got a hold.
Holding. Charge against Napoleon.
All right, Liberty Center now with some of those defensive starters in there, but they're sprinkling in the younger set for more experience, but still all accomplished players as we look into that secondary.
Tell you what, I have enjoyed thoroughly watching Logan Cifuentes tonight. I mean, there's been a lot of good play tonight. He has been enjoyable to watch tonight. I've really enjoyed his game, and I really enjoyed number 75, Hunter Spangler's game. Yeah, I think they just want to get a drink of water and start planning for week 3. Man, oh man, this second half has been a pleasure. This has been a pleasure. And anybody that's played in this program knows what that looks like.
What were the halftime stats? What was their total offense? Just roughly.
Well, I'm going to summarize them for you.
I did. They
Ugly.
had 109 yards for Napoleon in the first half against Liberty's 146. I think where the game broke down for Liberty. 5 penalties for 64 yards. 2 turnovers, Waylon Rentz on a fumble and then an interception.
Yeah.
And that's been Trey Rubenstein's best play of the night.
Yeah.
Hey,
he had that 80-yard play.
Yep. No, well, we got to stop at your play. Join us tomorrow. We've got volleyball. The Ottawa Hill Lady Green Bears come to town to take on our Lady Tigers in volleyball. And then the Oak Harbor Rockets. That ought to be kind of interesting. JV football here tomorrow. Both games start at 10 a.m. We'll have them simultaneously streaming on our YouTube channel and our Huddle platform.
Love it. Love it.
That Oak Harbor Rockets game, that caught my attention. That might be they might need to try to prove something here.
All right, 4.5 minutes left now. Napoleon takes over at their own 18-yard line after the call. A little slightly high snap. Looks has to scramble out of there. Finally unloads it short. And a 5-yard grab down there on the sidelines.
We've said it all night, Spike. You put Owen Espinoza on the run, and it's just not very good. Not accurate.
Right.
And gets him out of rhythm. But he sits back there, and he will destroy you. And he was having a god of success. And
from here, it looked like a completion, but apparently incomplete.
Well, he was moving to his left, and that's hard to do, and that's not what he does.
Right.
Good job on the pressure, by the way. I think the pressure has proven tonight over the coverage a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, and it took us about 1.5 quarters to get that all figured out and lined up correctly. Now rolling left, has a little time. Here comes pressure. Siffy again. Forced him to get rid of the ball, and if that was caught, it's going to be short of the first down.
There you go again. Flush out of the pocket.
chasing that quarterback.
Yeah, he has, and he's had a really good night.
I mean,
Been in
Nick
the
Miller,
backfield.
Brian, you're right. Nick Miller has talked about him, and I'm like, where's Logan Cifuentes? He's like, you're going to see more of him tonight.
Yeah.
He showed up. By the way, that was a great break on the ball by Cam Colley.
Yep.
I know he's been sick all week, but he is such an important player to this program.
Yep.
And
Listen, these two corners, Grady and Cam, really good. We got two really, really good corners right now.
All right, out of the gun, 3 wide out, straight drop. Now here comes pressure again, and he's sacked in the backfield. He got rid of the ball, and it is a catch up near midfield.
Deegan Swigert on the pressure.
That was Swigert.
Almost got there.
Almost got him.
Yeah, came hard. He was playing kind of a nose tackle.
Nice catch there. I think that was 19 Parker Woods, I believe, on that catch. Great catch there.
Hey, that Schweigert, he is not very tall, but I tell you, that guy is built.
I'm going to tell you what, I coach his old man tough as nails.
Yeah. Yes. All right, so Napoleon with the ball at their own 46. Dropping back, rolling right, waits for a man, nothing there, has to throw underneath, a diving effort, and I believe he's going to come up incomplete. Napoleon's total rushing yardage can't be.
It's in the negative. It's in the negative.
Wow.
Coach Tyler Swery tried to get something going after the first Liberty touchdown, and there just wasn't going to be there for him. So that had to be frustrating to not be able to gain any yards on the ground tonight.
Okay, now the Wildcats come out with trip receivers to this wide side of the field. Out of the gun, he'll roll that way. And great pressure there. Ooh. And what a hit upfield there. That was
Lonazak.
Sonnenberg.
Yeah, Sonnenberg, great play on the ball.
The receiver. And the pressure on the quarterback. Let's see. Let's get
Lonazak.
Lonazak. Yes, Lonazak again. Very active himself tonight. In
very
this game.
Uncomfortable for Owen Espinosa.
Yeah, he's been running for his life here.
Second half, Liberty has gotten after him and kind of ruined his game tonight.
Xander Zeider hasn't played a lot tonight, but he's got enough action that kind of keeps his
He's been sick all week.
Yes,
been sick all week.
It's keeping him into the game. You love that, too. All right, trip receivers here. He'll roll that way. Looks, throws underneath. That's going to be caught. Great coverage on the underneath there by Grady Miller.
That's been Grady all night, all over him.
Blanket.
Even if he does catch it, he's right there for the tackle.
Grady,
he's had a really big game on defense.
Grady Miller has erased Trey Rubenstein, and I didn't think that was possible.
No, I mean, he probably had 10-plus catches last week he had to be over 100 yards. I mean, they just could not stop him. Defiance could not. So I thought he was going to give us some problems tonight, but he has not.
Grady Miller,
all
just
right,
a perfect
so Napoleon,
game tonight
with
on him.
3 minutes left. They're facing 4th and 6 at the midfield stripe. Tigers show a little blitz, now rolling. Fires it out there. Got a man overthrown. Out there in the coverage was Bartels. Let's see. Barrett was out there in coverage, forcing that ball to be flying away.
Lonazak with some pressure.
Turn it over. Lonazak,
He was on the pressure there. Liberty still playing.
All right, now Liberty Center coming in with some new ones. Tate Parasini in there for the Tigers. Number 72, Gabe Clapp. Gabe is a big boy, too. He's had, trying to get totally healthy, but that guy's big. Dakota Zabo into the game. Tiger show wing to the left set. Under center. Crime Brink hands off. And not much going. Spill spinning off of there. They finally blow the whistle a little prematurely. And what a Tyler roars with determination. Ended up getting about 5, but
when you're watching Waylon Rentz run and Garrison Cruz and Thomas Moeller run, you better run just like them.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what that was.
Yes,
he wasn't going to stop.
Good point. All right, Tigers with a wide out here. Wing right set. Give to the second back, and that's going to be blown dead. Brody Jakeway in there as a wide out. Kind of in there as a freshman, 5'9" freshman, Colton Shapansky. All right, second down now. We'll call it 4 yards to go. Tigers wing right set. Crimebrink hands off. Driving and pounding, bullering straight ahead. Weirenbeck.
Good run there by Ted.
And that's going to be enough for a first down. 5 yards on a hard, tough run.
Clayton Seal with a pancake.
2 minutes to go.
First and 10, Liberty Center, ball on the 40-yard line.
Dakota Zabo spread out wide over here. Wing right package. Handoff, second back, trying to find a hole. And Napoleon closes fast. Isaac Orth into the teeth of the defense. Minute and a half now and clock running. Liberty Center in control, 31-7. It was 7-6 Napoleon at halftime, and Liberty Center was reeling, but they managed to hang on, and now in the second half, one-sided. All right, clock running down, a minute 15 to go. Wide out to the wide side over there. Give up the middle. Napoleon submarines that. Number 20, Max Swihart, in there on a couple plays in a row. Good open field tackles. Clock under a minute. This could be the last play of the game.
Yep, stay with us after the game. We're going to take a little short break, and then we'll be back with the KK Collision postgame show.
All right, taking their time, takes the knee, and that should be it. Play clock at 40, time clock now at 22 and counting. So Liberty Center comes back. They took an early lead. They had a point blocked. They had a couple of penalties that killed rallies. They had an interception. They had a fumble, but yet the defense held tight. And that may be the watchword of the night as Liberty Center in the second half steamrolled Napoleon. All right, we'll be back with the post game.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors: KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Tiger Sports Live for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Tiger Sports Live is prohibited.
Ward.
Well, fellas, welcome to the postgame. That first half was not very interesting. With me is our color guy, Brian Jiggs Babcock, and our legendary play-by-play Spike Whitman. A couple things. Let's get into some numbers before we get into the analysis. Tonight, Liberty Center finishes with 331 total yards on offense. 55 attempts for 314 yards. Wow. Napoleon had 4 rushing yards on 10 attempts. Their total yards was 158. So Liberty Center, 331, Napoleon 158 in total yards, guys. Second half, Liberty really dominated. First downs, Liberty Center 20, Napoleon 4. But the bugaboo of the night were turnovers and penalties. Coach Mueller will have plenty of fodder to talk to these guys about in the morning. But penalties, 9 for 95 yards for Liberty Center. And we turned the ball over twice, 2 giveaways, where Napoleon played a clean game, 4 penalties for 26 yards. Tonight, Waylon Rentz was an absolute workhorse. 23 carries for 159 yards. And Thomas Mueller had himself a night, 18 carries for 104 yards. Liberty Center threw 2 for 8 for 17 yards between Miller and Kreinbrink. Tonight, we bottled up Troy Rubenstein. 4 catches for 23 yards. That is the shocking stat of the night. Liberty Center's defense just put him in jail, and we just did a great job. Grady Miller with a big night. Senior quarterback tonight for Napoleon, who had come in and played very well. Owen Espinoza tonight, 12 for 26 for 154. And I'll tell you the difference there, Spike. When you got him on the move, he completed nothing. When he sat in the pocket, he was outstanding. And Liberty put together a formula to really take care of that pass game against Napoleon. Great job by Matt Bryan and that defensive staff. Liberty Center just outstanding. Tonight, top tackler Garrison Cruz with 5. Not a surprise. He had a big night there. Jackson Bartels added 4. Liberty's coverage teams, both punt and kickoff, were A+. Brian Hefflinger had those guys going. 1 penalty early, and the rest was clean. Great job on the coverage. Again, kept Trey Rubenstein bottled up. That's going to be hard to do all year long, guys. I don't know how you do that, but that's Liberty Center's coaching staff right there. So Liberty Center in a dominant second half. We talked about it all second half, Spike. You saw a completely different team, same plays, better execution, and we really got after Napoleon in the second half.
Wow. Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better than that.
So tonight, Liberty Center with a big win. That is 8 in a row over Napoleon. Now it's 44-22. We're 22-44. So generationally, Mark Bly, we have some work to do. Napoleon really put it to us for many, many years, but it has been sweet. How old was I last time we lost to Napoleon? I mean, 44, 43 years old. It's pretty sweet to put that many wins.
Yeah, me too.
Against Napoleon. Yeah, right. You got it. So, anyways, guys, we've got a very important thing to choose tonight. Mark Bly, we got a lot of guys to talk about in the postgame, and you start this thing off.
Yep. Well, you know what? This award is in honor of Kent Michaels Peace, the biggest dog of them all, Kent Dog, as I love to call him. And it's about toughness. It's about making that play. It's about overcoming all the odds, and that's everything Kent did. I'm going to put – man, I might be stealing somebody's thunder, but Cifuentes just made a name for himself tonight in on plays, chasing the quarterback down. You talked about the quarterback being uncomfortable. Cifuentes, he's my big dog.
Okay.
Spike, you're going to wait and go last? You're going to go second here. What do you got?
Well, I really like the contribution of Grady Miller on his defense, his pass defense. That was, to me, that was big dog stuff. I loved Siffy's play, and I loved Rentz's toughness on grind out running
the bloody
plays.
death roll.
But I'm going to, in a tough one, I'm going to go with Grady Miller.
Spike, you hit all 3 players that I was going to highlight. Those are the 3 that I highlighted. I mean, Grady shut down Rubenstein tonight single-handedly. He was one-on-one most of the game. He did a very good job holding him under wraps, 4 catches for very minimal yards. Cifuentes had a great game, constantly in the backfield, pressuring the quarterback. Got his. I think he had a sack. Got his couple knockdowns.
Multiple pressures.
He was living in the backfield. And then Waylon Retz. I mean, just continuing to carry the load. You know, he had a fumble. You know, some of those exchanges were not as crisp as he would have liked, but, man, he ran the ball hard tonight.
I was taking a bunch of notes. I mean, I'm not going to be the decision maker.
Here comes the campaign train.
I think there's a few guys that I like tonight. I thought the game turned on the dive play. When we went straight vertical right into the 0-1, right into the teeth of that blitz and beat it time after time, and that was Thomas Moeller. But I'm going to give my nominations to a couple of guys. I love the way Max Walker and Stephen Brogan played at guard. They were outstanding. Brogan made phenomenal blocks early, and then late in that second half when we poured it on, those two guards were fantastic. I really loved the way Hunter Spangler played. You know, centers don't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
But when you're running 0-1, that center is so key, and he played great. Went out to left tackle, came back to center, and there were holes and yards, and those three guys generated a bunch. But at the end of the day, it's going to be really difficult for me not to vote for number 62, Logan Cifuentes. He plays with an attitude. He plays downhill. He's nasty. Nick Miller called the number. He delivered. My ultimate nomination with some honorable mentions is Cifuentes tonight.
All right, well, we got, you know, I was thinking as we narrowed this down to picking like the big dog that this was going to get easier for us, you know, because we were looking at offense, we were looking at defense, and, you know, and I think, you know, a lot of guys stepped up and delivered.
They did. Second half in particular.
I don't know. Can I choose today?
You can choose it. Go.
You know, I'm going to go Grady Miller.
Oh.
I think when you take a Trey Rubenstein
out of a game,
and somebody said it, they took a whiteboard and erased him.
Yeah.
The premier athlete in the area, bar none. I mean, when there's
Houdini'd him,
disappeared. And, you know, Grady did some time at quarterback. He was always one-on-one. Wherever Trey Rubenstein went, Grady Miller went. I'm going to give the big dog award to Grady Miller tonight.
Outstanding for Grady tonight. And
Siffy, you can have a virtual hug, but
that's right. Yeah, you know, that's a tough decision, but, you know, Cifuentes, man, he played good tonight.
Yep. Yeah.
But to erase the premier athlete,
and he did,
from a game, what he had, 20 yards?
I mean, 24 yards
24,
on 3 catches. I mean, just gone.
That's, you know, if you can do that, you're a bigger dog than me.
And let me just finish with the Kent Dog piece, because I coached him, and he was in that locker room for many years as I coached. And this is a Kent Dog kind of game.
Yeah.
You know, Kent Dog did not have an easy life. He had to get up every morning and fight to breathe and to eat and to enjoy. Tonight, Liberty had to fight.
Yep.
This was not a given. This was not handed to him. Life was not handed to Kent at all. And he fought his way through it, and tonight Liberty Center did in the second half. This is a great award tonight for Grady. He had to fight to have a good game tonight.
Every play. He couldn't take a play off, and neither did Kent. So I love that. So I think the award goes to Grady Miller for his lockdown defense on probably the premier athlete in Northwest Ohio.
Very good. Spike?
All right.
Take us home, Spike.
All right. Well, as we wrap it up here, Liberty Center trailed, and I'm telling you, I'm a typical Tiger fan. My heart in my throat. Down 7-6, nothing seemed to work at all, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. Everything we've worked for the last 5 years, second game of the season going down the tubes, and you guys tell me out there if you weren't one of them. Believe me, that was rough. But as we've seen so many times, Liberty Center in the second half, like Bucky was alluding to quite a bit of the night with Lindgren at halftime, something got said, some rights were made, some wrongs were omitted, and the Tigers came back and played Liberty Center Tiger kick Kern football.
27 straight home victory, regular season victories. 27.
Wow. Yeah, outstanding.
So, Spiker, get us out of here.
Hey, with that resounding second half, Liberty Center wins it, going away with a steamroll effort, 31-7, over our neighbors to the west, the Napoleon Wildcats. So next week we
will be at Otsego. We're already in.
All right, love it. So with that, everybody, it's good night and good Tiger sports.